Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Storm King's Thunder. This is episode 62. My name is Michael, your most humble and merciful dungeon master this evening. We're so glad that you're here hanging out with us at Proficiency Bonus tonight. We've got some exciting adventure ahead for you. So sit back and relax, go get yourself some popcorn and your favorite drink and get ready to enjoy this wonderful night with us tonight. A couple announcements to get out of the way before we begin. I wanted to do a quick shout out to Twitch, Streamlabs, Team MZ, Many-Sided Dice, and also our newest sponsor, Dice Bard, for coming on board, allowing us to be affiliated with them. And we're already off to a great start in our own chat, so that's fantastic. Dice Bard, you can get some awesome dice from Dice Bard if you hit ! Dice Bard in the Twitch chat right now. You'll get a link to their website where you can get some really awesome dice. If you type in the coupon code PROBO at checkout, you'll get free expedited shipping on your order just because you know us. So I think that's pretty cool. You should go check them out. Another quick announcement I wanted to make is MG, who plays Lachlan, will be unable to join us tonight. He is actually on a work trip, so he's out of town. He will be back in our next Storm King's Thunder episode, which will actually be 2 weeks from now. As next week, I will be out of town, so we are going to be having a one-shot next week. Hopefully, a DM to be announced for that one-shot that will happen next Friday. So hopefully you might be able to see a few of the players that play in our Friday night campaign be joining that group. So it'll be a lot of fun, so make sure you tune in. Our next episode of Storm King's Thunder will be on February 8th. So make sure you mark your calendars and come hang out with us. So we'd love to see you here. I'm going to take us over to the rest of the group so you can see our wonderful people. Zos, if you got your webcam hooked up, if you could hit reconnect for me, because I'm still just seeing your awesome picture that you've got up there. And then you can wave to everybody.
Oregon.
That's it.
And I need to do a plug/shadow because Kingdom Hearts drops on the 29th and I'm so excited!
Kingdom Hearts 3, right?
3!
Kingdom
Finally!
Hearts 3. Yes.
So you will not see Christy for a full week.
Christy is just going to disappear for a week.
She's gone.
She's gone.
It's unprecedented on Proficiency Bonus, but she's not going to be here.
You know what you should do? You should just hook Proficiency Bonus's channel up one day to your Kingdom Hearts and just stream that baby. You know,
well, that's what I plan on doing. I'm planning on streaming it on my personal Twitch channel so I don't overrun Proficiency Bonus with just Kingdom Hearts 3.
It's like D&D for 3 hours a day, and then the rest is just all Kingdom Hearts. Christy playing nonstop, not sleeping, just chugging as much energy drink as she can, just so she can get through.
Yep.
Yeah, and ginger ale. Yep. She's
Yep.
Ginger ale, Red Bull. Ginger ale, Red Bull.
Red Bull.
This
Kingdom Hearts hype.
Tonight's episode is not, unfortunately, it's not sponsored by ginger ale or Red Bull.
It should be.
It's
or Kingdom Hearts.
Or Kingdom Hearts.
It should be.
That's funny. So we're gonna get a dive in. We got a little bit of a recap from last week as the party was deep in combat against a green dragon as they were busy battling to find these other amulets and gems from Cruella the Black. They were able to defeat the green dragon and find the gem for Umi. Unfortunately, Umi did not survive the conflict, was killed by the dragon's breath. Dorn was also killed, but revived by Diana and the last use of their diamond that they had for that spell to take place. Molfin got to practice more of his skills with using his newfound item when he was able to summon a wraith to help them in the battle. They gathered all the treasure. They were able to destroy the gem, and when they returned, they found that the fountain was getting shorter in the main chamber. Upon taking a long rest, they moved on to the next chamber, which was, I believe, Oriel's chamber.
Yes.
They were headed that way when Molfin fainted, in which he was confronted by the person that he is in contract with. They had a very deep conversation about future plans and how things are just falling right into place. He even mentioned some plans about King Hecaton of the Storm Giants having a very powerful magic item that he wishes maybe could be used by Callista to help with the destruction of the Raven Queen. The plan sounds foolproof, and it sounds rather appealing as things are starting to fall into place. You guys made it into the chamber of Oriel to find an old merfolk man there who gave you all a scepter. You had a riddle upon a covered well that said, thrice blessed sapphire protects thy flesh against the Lothaliel's wrath. With Ashland's quick thinking, you were able to change all the gems to blue sapphires, unlocking the well. And with a with a lit up pebble with legs and arms leading the way down the well, Callista cast water breathing on all of you, and you descended into the dark well. That's where we pick up tonight. Sorry for the lengthy recap, but there was a lot going on last week.
It'd be like that.
It was one of those nights. So
only gonna get better.
It's only gonna get better, yes. And it's gonna get better as we dive back in, and so the story is told, adventurers. You guys are being led by this pebble down into the depths. You're breathing water, much like you would breathe air. You're taking the water into your lungs and exhaling, and it seems like you're having no problem whatsoever getting the oxygen that you need as you descend.
Stop rhyming again.
No, I'm not. No more mime.
Oh, and I do want to remind you, Sarah, you have the nat 20. Ashland's got the nat 20 this week, so don't forget about that.
Okay.
For figuring out the puzzle and for landing the killing blow on a critical hit on the green dragon last week. So that was pretty massive. Double crit with that Wraith crit and then your crit. I'm like, man, dragon didn't stand a chance. So you guys continue to descend, and you realize that when you're descending in this well, all of a sudden it starts to open up into several passages. Large passages, probably about 10 to 15 feet round. Looks like rough rock, kind of almost like volcanic rock, but looks a little bit like a mixture of coral. There are what looks to be different shades and colors of coral that are attached to all these walls as you guys keep on descending. Now, it gets complicated. It starts to seem like the farther you go, the more difficult it may be to get back. What exactly would you guys be doing here? As your passive insight tells you, if you keep on swimming down, if you have to get back out of here, it's going to be pretty tough.
Okay.
Is Coastal still locating object on something?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So could she tell us which passageway to go down?
It's strange because most of the passageways do lead down, but it keeps on splitting and jetting off into different directions. And like you'll take one passageway, then it'll split off 2 more ways, and then it'll split off 3 more ways, and then it'll split off, in like 6 directions. So it's not like there's any rhyme or reason to this. It's just kind of like almost like a hive of caves and underwater tunnels.
Do we know?
Do we have any
from where
rope?
we are?
What's that?
Go
Do we
ahead,
know our
Malcolm.
way back from where we are.
Yeah.
So from where
You've
we're
only.
coming down right now.
Yeah, you went down the main tunnel shaft, and then it started to break up. So after maybe like 2 or 3 breakup tunnels, you're kind of like, whoa, before we go any farther, we need to think about something or figure out a way that's we're going to be able to find our way back.
We either mark the tunnels, or I have another idea. If I can get up, based off my ping, is there a direct, ignoring all the passageways, am I getting a direct direction one way or the other?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's down in front of you, a good ways away still.
Okay.
But
what's the cave type? Like, what type of rock am I dealing with here?
it's a mixture between coral and it looks like some kind of volcanic rock.
Volcanic rock.
Mm-hmm.
Do any of us have a rope that we could
Yeah,
use?
2 ropes.
Yeah, do we have like any rope that we can use to like kind of
50 feet of
follow
rope is
back?
not that far though.
Just a question for you.
Yep.
How long do you believe it would take to get to this, well, for lack of a better term, from point A to B?
For a direct line,
And as the crow would fly, as one would say.
how far? What's the distance I'm gauging?
How far?
On this,
How far
Michael.
does your reach with detect or with your locate
I
object?
think it's like 1,000 feet.
Like 1,000 feet. I would probably say somewhere within the realm of, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Probably close to that. I would say maybe 3 or 4 football fields.
Ooh.
That's quite the distance.
We're gonna drown.
And it's still several feet down and out.
So we're gonna
There's me a
drown.
moment.
Mathing. Yep, we got to do some math.
Um,
That's fine.
Malfin looks at the group.
I love it when you guys do the math because I can never do it.
Malfin looks at the group and says, well, I have a way to get myself there, but do not know how to get the rest of you.
Okay. Good luck.
Have fun.
Can you come back and tell us where you are? Where you were?
Can I make some sort of nature or survival check to think if I could dig if I took on a creature with burrowing speed?
Sure. Make a nature check.
Okay.
So if you got there, could you like tell us where you were?
Callista, you think that possibly you could dig as long as you found the right areas where the rock might be less dense. And maybe through more of the coral areas, you probably think you can just dig right through there, no problem. You're going to have to be careful in how you move around because some of this volcanic rock can be very, very difficult to dig through.
Right, that's what I figured.
Actually, to answer your question, no, I do not have the means to communicate over that length of a distance.
Oh.
I don't think you should go anyway, Gramps. I mean, I think that's a bad idea.
Off on your own like that seems pretty far.
Much like when dealing with the dragon, I have ways to move and to remain unseen. But
You're
that
so
brings us to another point. We
enigmatic
don't
since
know
you
what
got on
is-
the shroud thing. It's like you're a puzzle wrapped in a mystery.
Thank you, Ashlyn. I rather like that.
Okay.
But that brings another point, given that we've had a 3-headed undead mage and a green dragon. Once I get down there, there's no way for me to necessarily bring that. Well, I suppose I should call it a young lady back.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, what's she gonna do? She can't swim in the water, breathe water. What are we doing?
She's a statue.
Yes, so if we revive her in the water, she's gonna drown.
She would drown. But
So,
we would have the gem.
But I guess we could drag her body up and then revive her. But the point is, that's probably not good if we drown her. Like,
Well, and
morally. I know that you're
Have any-
a little morally right now, but it's bad. Trust me.
But do we even have the means to revive her? Did we not use the last of the stones we purchased for said task to revive our, well, Diana's
Oh
dear
yeah.
friend Dawn?
Oh yeah, we did revive Dawn. I don't know. Do we have a means to reviving
You're saying.
Oriel? Anyone?
In terms of reviving, we still have to revive Umi later anyway.
Mm-hmm. I guess we
So
could just stack the bodies together.
that's what I was thinking.
No, that's not what I was thinking.
No, here's the thing. Here's the thing. We have to make sacrifices here in order to kill this lich. And if we survive and finish this task, we will have the means and the ability to attempt to bring these people back. But we can't focus on that yet until we get through this part first. Like I said, we have to table these things until we're done.
I've got a big table right now.
We have a huge table, and it sucks, but we have to do it.
Question. Are we gonna go through, Kella and, Diana's door to see what's in there, just in case?
I mean, we have the gems right here. I don't know why we would need to go through our doors. What good could it serve us to go put ourselves in harm's way, risking more time to kill more creatures? If
I don't know,
we're
just
bloodthirsty
see
enough.
what would be protecting you. That'd be fun. Like, hey, it's a giant clown that wants to give us balloons of death.
Maybe after the lich is dead, I would be okay with that and we can explore our rooms, but for right now, I want this thing dead as fast as it can be dead.
Okay, I'm just curious.
No, I gotcha, because it takes us like a day to rest up after one of these battles, because they take so much out of us, and I just don't want to... We have no idea how much time we have before the lich pops back out of that dagger.
Okay.
Yeah, Dorn's with you guys, correct?
I think so.
Did we leave him?
I think we left him, didn't we?
Did you leave Dorn this time?
I believe so, because I have greater restoration anyways,
Oh, okay.
so we don't really need him anymore, which is good, because he is so delicate.
he is.
Him and all of his 27 hit points.
Oh, wow.
Didn't you guys take his last bag of diamond dust with you?
I did, I have it with me.
Okay, I have two options here if we don't want to go through these passages. As long as Diana keeps her greater restoration.
I got it.
Okay. So, the two options are I burrow as a giant badger. It's slow, but I have at least 4 to 5 hours in that form to get through to the other side. Or, if we want to move faster, it's a bit of a risk, but I can conjure an elemental to go through this.
And to guide us so that we don't
The
get
problem
lost
is,
and get fine.
the problem is if I conjure the elemental and I lose concentration, it's a rogue elemental.
Oh, let's not do that.
So, do we want to do this the fast and risky way or the slow and safe way?
How long can we breathe underwater?
24 hours.
I would go the slow route.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to be sure.
Anyone else?
Everywhere.
Lachlan chimes in and is like, I think I prefer to be the only rogue around here.
Fair.
Roguishly handsome.
Lachlan blushes.
Yourself.
Okay, so I will find the spot where I feel the most concentrated of the object, and I will use the badger form to start digging a straight line to get to it.
All right.
I have a serious question, like, what parts of you get pruny if you're submerged in water for like an hour? I mean, a day. Like, that's crazy.
Oh.
yeah,
Whole face.
yep, you're just
like
shriveled up prunes. Yep, that's.
I'm gonna be so wrinkled.
Yep.
Educational piece for our viewers. It's actually not because you get water. The reason your fingers prune is to improve your grip.
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
I read that.
There you go. That's a good thing.
Diana,
Good to
you're
know.
book learning.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll give you an advantage for keeping your grip on something. I don't know. That tidbit of information. So,
But I'm strangling Calista.
so Callista transforms into a giant badger and just starts plugging away at this thing. Now, she tries to make a straight diagonal that goes out and down into the wall. She's able to do so relatively well with her nature check. She was able to weave around some of the areas of hard rock, and eventually it busts out into a much larger, what appears to be ocean.
What?
I just keep casting light on her rear end so we can all just focus on all
Great.
her.
Glowing butt for the win.
So the pebble is no longer lit. It is now
Well,
Callista's
once the
rear
pebble
end.
runs out, then just it's a glowing,
Yes.
badger bottom.
And with your army of animated pebbles in tow, you guys bust out of this rock, and basically what it looks like is if you were on kind of like the continental shelf where then it drops off, you're kind of right along the edge of that within an ocean. The landscape kind of just slopes down, and at the very edge, right before it descends into darkness, you can see what look to be spires of coral that reach towards you in the direction of you, different colors, some of them being yellow, some of them being pink, some of them being purple and blue. All these different spires of coral. It almost appears like if you took wet sand and you were just dropping it out of your hand on the beach to make a little spire castle. It kind of appears like that as you see all these spires reach up. And you guys can sense movement down below in several different directions. He touched the button. Yes.
I was gonna put that in the chat at the exact same time. At the exact same time.
Where my melded.
You guys, that was amazing.
That was pretty good.
Amazing. If you didn't already have DM's inspiration, I would have given you another point. Yeah, so, and then basically you can see out farther, but it just kind of descends into darkness. You can see what appears to be the surface of the water. It seems to be several hundred feet up, but it's just kind of the light that's trickling down. It just, as you get deeper and deeper, it just completely gets cut off by the depth of the water.
So, are these coral spires like really big, like castle-like, or just spire-like, like tree-like?
Appears like it could be both. I mean, as the way you see it, there are figures moving among them, and you also see several fish, just kind of swimming around.
Okay.
It looks to be kind of like a coral reef type area before this drop off, and everybody go ahead and roll a perception check as you guys are checking it out.
Oh no.
Ah.
Perception.
Right. And Matthew, if you want to roll for Lachlan for me,
Oh, sure.
that would be great. Thank you.
Oh, let me roll for Anna.
Yeah, Anastasius is with you as well, so you can roll.
Ooh.
I miss Anna.
Poor
Lachlan's
Lachlan.
staring at the badger bottom.
Yeah. Okay.
I got a 19, he got a 17.
Callista, you're looking around down there, and you catch eyes with something.
Oh, great.
For maybe a fraction of a second, and then it swims away into one of the coral spires.
Did it look humanoid?
It looked humanoid, but it was moving through the water rather quickly.
I will let everyone know that we're being watched.
Mermaid.
Better not be.
Are mermaids bad?
They can be, yeah.
Well, the one that we met was good. The old man, merman.
Yeah, our
He was
friend
kinda
of
nice.
is
He was
nice.
just cleaning barnacles, and
He wasn't a mermaid, though.
he was a merman. We just made this. We just said this. What was he?
He was a literal
Triton?
mermaid. He was cleaning.
Yeah, hey.
Ba-dumps. I take my DM's inspiration away from myself.
I was just thinking that, like, I gotta take that away from him.
I rolled in that one.
Oh, if we get down closer, if need be, I can. I have the scroll I've been sort of itching to give a try.
Do you want to like send all the little rocks and can you put light on all of them and send them different places?
I will use dancing lights.
Okay.
Okay. yeah, these different glowing orbs start to move all around the area. Yeah, the light definitely extends out into this area where it does appear like what Ashlyn was asking. It seems like some kind of dwelling place. It has what look to be kind of castle chamber windows almost inside of the coral walls and things like that.
So it kind of looks like a city, an underground,
Yeah, it's
underwater
kind of
city.
like an underground city, yeah.
Ooh.
How far are we from the nearest building?
Probably about 100 feet. Got to swim down a little bit to get to them still.
I guess we can't.
I will just
stealth
start swimming towards
underwater.
where I last felt the ping.
Okay, I'll go with her.
Okay, the ping is coming from beyond the city, off the
Beyond
shelf,
the city.
off the shelf, and down.
Oh, off the shelf.
right.
Mhm.
And then
We
down.
have to go into a trench. Just keep swimming. Just keep
Just
swimming.
keep swimming.
Just keep swimming. I shall call him Squishy, and he will be my Squishy.
Squishy.
I'm assuming it's getting a little difficult to see down here.
You'll be able to see just fine within the city. There's enough light trickling down through, and with the dancing lights flickering all around, the city shouldn't be hard to manage. Anywhere beyond that, where she's getting the ping, is probably going to be difficult to see.
How far down is the ping still?
Probably beyond the edge, probably like 300 to 400 more feet, probably past beyond the city.
Wow, this is really far away.
I'm just gonna start heading in that direction
Okay.
because I'm on a mission, and if we see someone, we see someone, but I'm not stopping.
Okay.
Okay, I'll go with. Oops,
No brakes. No brakes on this train.
All right. As you're swimming, Callista, you get near one of the spires,
Mm-hmm.
and you see out of the corner of your eye, looking back at you, is another one of those merfolk. Looks similar to the one upstairs, but not old. Looks
Okay.
possibly like a younger woman.
Ooh,
She cute?
I
Um,
leave.
For a merfolk, I don't know. She looks kind of like this. I don't know. You guys don't play with the monster manual beside you, do you?
I have it right here. I have it right here.
She kind of looks like this.
What page?
Ooh.
It might not.
She's beautiful.
It might not show
She's
it.
pretty.
It might not show it on my Twitch because if it's green, it'll
Oh, yeah.
it'll make it invisible.
No, it's shown up on Twitch.
Okay, but that's what she looks like. She's got this large fin kind of in the back, kind of like a mohawk on her head.
Pretty
Her
badass.
ears look like an elf's ears, kind of, with different piercings and things in them.
Hey, cousin.
They've got blue skin and webbed hands with claws and fins and things off their elbows and things. But she kind of looks towards you, Callista, as you're swimming that way, and she's like, "No, stop, stop!
I stop.
Come here, come, all of you, come here!" And she just starts waving towards the yellow spire. that
I
she's kind of-
approach hesitantly.
Alright.
Insight. I insight
You-
this
Yeah.
creature.
You feel like she's being honest with you. You feel like
Okay.
there's
I
a
follow.
genuine fear for
Fear.
your life.
Yeah. Okay. I will go see what she wants.
Okay.
Also, they're nice. They're not sirens.
So I'm assuming all of you are swimming together at this point.
Molfin's following a little behind, though, a little weirded out that this one apparently knows how to speak common.
Okay. Okay. So you enter the spire, and you can see inside. There is not much inside here. It seems to be a coral room of some sort. It's just some carved into this coral spire. And it seems to have this hole in the ceiling where they can kind of swim down through different levels. No stairs, because they don't need them. They just swim around. But it's not furnished well. There's not a lot of furnishings. Very simple things lying around. Doesn't seem to be a whole lot. She appears tired to you. But as you guys enter, she's like, wait, who are you? Who are you? Where did you all come from?
The surface.
The surface. You were able to get in.
Yes.
Wow. What's it like on the outside?
Pretty fucked up right now.
Really?
It is not water.
I mean, we just dealt with a dragon. It's pretty messed up there.
You're not wrong. Damn. The honesty.
There's a merman that's very elderly up there.
Oh,
He's nice.
wait.
Who is very nice.
Tedrin. You met Tedrin?
Yeah,
Sure.
I think so.
Is he
Tetraegis?
is he okay?
he
He
seems
seems
okay.
Fine.
Oh,
Very lonely though. I think he's lonely.
yeah.
He gave us hugs.
He did.
He must be proud that you were able to open the gate.
That's good.
Can you?
Do you know where a statue of a woman is? Beyond here, about 300, 400 feet down.
She kind of smiles a little bit, and at the statue of Oriel.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Was Cruella's beloved. It's
Oh.
her favorite.
Really?
Yes.
How does she look talking about Cruella?
A little bit hurt.
She when your vibe from it is she is almost numb, probably because your sense is that she's probably not ever known what it means to be free,
Aww.
so she doesn't have anything to compare her feelings to. But the general consensus is that she is not a fan of Cruella
Good.
and is rather probably more so fearful of her than anything else.
Aw. We should free them. Can they breathe out? They can breathe out of water. If we just dump water on them like Pedron.
What's
At the
What's your
same
name?
point, if we just kill Cruella
Right.
again, problem solved.
Well, where will they go? They're still stuck down here. You have to bring them up.
Since they're stuck, they have a city here. They may enjoy it here. They may just want the evil overlord removed.
She
True.
she
Dear,
looks
what's your name?
she looks towards Diana and is like, my name is Thitari. What is yours?
Tatari?
Thitari.
Tatari.
Thutari.
Tatari.
Yeah, without the A in that. Without the first A.
Tatari.
Thitari.
Alright. I am Diana.
Oh,
A pleasure.
it's a pleasure to meet you, Diana.
We have been traveling through various rooms, finding Cruella's phylacteries, I suppose is what they're called? I forgot. Phylacteries, and destroying them, and facing quite abominable creatures along the way.
She kind of rushes up towards you, Diana, and kind of almost embraces your shoulders with both of her hands. And she's like, really?
Jesus.
You've found others? You were able to destroy them?
Yes, we've destroyed 3 so far. We have 2 more in our possession waiting to be destroyed, and we have the one down there.
Oh, wait here! And she swims really quickly and swims downstairs. She just disappears.
Oh, did I make a mistake?
She just rush of
Well,
water
thanks
just
for
Technically,
swims out.
we
Dolphin's preparing a spell.
Okay.
only have one in our position because I destroyed Kella's.
Yeah. She just
Oh,
really
we only have
kills.
one.
You hear her you hear yelling from down below, and then you hear the voices of others,
Oh no.
and then
Hide!
she reappears, and she's like, dear Saul, and she's pulling out this male merfolk, and he comes up a little bit reluctantly, but still like this excitement in his face, and he sees all of you, and you see 3 more pop up through the hole, male and female merfolk, and they all just kind of gaze at you in awe. They said they were able to destroy the other gems. They've got the upper hand on her. We We might be able to get out of here.
Yes. Yes, you might. Yes, you can. Yes, we can. All right. Listen.
We will.
This is a presidential campaign now. I
That's
promise
affirmative
to
thinking.
boost your economy and free you guys.
It's part of the secret,
From your
Diana.
shackle.
No offense.
You already have it done in your mind.
All right. No offense, but we're losing time here. We don't have time for this.
Okay, that's true. I just wanted to ask them what I want to address the older gentleman and be like, "Hello there, sir." I'll bow because I don't know if he's some type of merfolk king. I'll just be like, "Hello, pleasure."
He looks at you and he just bows his head just a little bit. Looks at you strangely.
Okay, great. So not like that. Okay, it's a democratic place. I understand. I respect. Sir, merfolk, sir. I was just curious if you all had any information that could be advantageous to us in fighting this next monster that we're about to face, and also if there are any among you that feel equipped with weapons, that feel well equipped with weapons, that are familiar with them, that might decide to not sit around and wait for freedom to be handed to you, but might decide to fight and take it into your own hand.
He looks at you.
The music hit that on the right note.
he looks at you and he says, We've tried to run before, but we continue to swim and swim and swim. But upon turning around, no matter if you swim for a day or a week, when you turn around, you're still the same distance away from this place.
Aww.
Why don't you try that new tunnel right there?
He kind of looks up, just sees the roof of the coral spire. it's like just awkwardly kind of questioning look on his face, and looks back at you, Diana, and says, "Fighting back requires a bravery that not much of us have."
But that some of you have. I believe.
That's okay.
Go ahead.
They're prisoners. They might not know how and be sad all the time.
If
Molfin's gonna look at the old man.
He's not really old. He's kind of more of like a 30-year-old dude.
The old man was upstairs.
I want to rally them.
This guy doesn't really seem dressed much differently. They all seem to be about relatively dressed the same. They don't seem to be wearing any armor or have any weapons. They are very minimal when it comes to what they have. Your passive insight might tell you that if they are in fact under some kind of if they're trapped or put to service by Cruella some way, she's not going to allow them to have anything.
Even with Cruella being dead, I don't think these individuals will be of much use to us.
Is there anything, sir, that possibly think of that might help us, so that we're not walking in there just ourselves alone?
Even information.
Don't get too close.
Is it one of those things where you touch it and it turns you into something? Because I've been through that before.
It will try to draw you near.
Okay.
So ranged attacks then.
It's difficult underwater.
Oh, yeah. True.
But we do have something that might help. And he kind of eyeballs one of the other merfolk and gives him kind of a nod. And that merfolk disappears down into the hole in the floor of the spire. He looks towards you and... Don't be intimidated by the creature's size. For in its size it moves rather slowly. But it's always hungry.
Okay. Move
I
slowly.
want to put a hand on his shoulder.
We're dealing with Diana.
Are you?
Move slowly, always hungry. No, that's not Diana.
Diana just doesn't make stealth checks and rolls down steps and stuff
I know.
like that. That's Diana's MO.
That's not slowly. Let's just.
The Lafalil,
It's
the Lafalil is a terrible creature. Though it has
The what?
Would I have ever heard of
Waffle
something
wheel.
like this?
You guys,
Yeah, the
Wasp.
waffle.
you guys heard it.
Blue gem.
You guys heard it
Waffle
in
eel.
the puzzle above.
Riddle.
The riddle had Lafalil written in it.
Nothing else I've read would have it though.
Waffle wheel. No.
None of you have ever heard of a creature like this.
Should we?
But
take
what
the
can our
lessons
merfolk friend tell us?
What's that?
What can our merfolk friend tell us?
that we should have taken the 3 sapphires? Probably should have taken the 3 sapphires.
It burrows. It can burrow through just about any material.
Well, we got one of those.
It has razor-sharp teeth. An enormous long-finned tail. Its flippers are large enough along its body that it's able to swim around. And it guards what you seek.
Does it have eyesight?
Blind sense?
It can see, even in the
Okay.
depths.
Okay.
And don't be fooled by the illumination.
Illumination. It's like an anglerfish?
It numbs your body.
Oh, don't touch the illumination.
It calms you,
Oh.
makes you feel right at home. And that's when it strikes.
Which is why it wants us near it. Okay. Well, it's not the only one with the power of light.
Haha.
Light cleric.
The reason that we stand in front of you is because we were able to stay far away. Many of our friends are not with us today because they were drawn in and never came back. You see, that's what we've been tasked with by Cruella, is to keep her creature satisfied.
Oh.
So you all live to exist, make families, and then one day watch your children be eaten by this creature just to feed it?
Well, we prefer to feed it other things rather than
Okay.
us.
Like us.
Ashley's
You
like-
have a point for the obvious.
Okay.
I will give you guys some advice. If we are successful, for the moment, I want you to go through that tunnel that I just burrowed.
Okay.
Find your way to the surface, to the old man that you mentioned.
Tedrin.
Tendrin. Wait there with him for us to come back up. Do not leave that chamber. Stay with him.
Okay,
You'll be safe there.
will do. We can do that. And just then, one of the other merfolk swims up through with looks like some kind of piece of fabric that's wrapping up something that he's holding with 2 hands. And he lays it down and starts to unfold it on the floor. And you can see there are basically a spear for each one of you and 5 javelins for each of you. These weapons work well underwater. If you choose to take them, you can have them. This is all we had left. We've kept them hidden.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's up to you. If you guys want them, you can take them. If you have weapons that are good underwater, then you don't have to take them. It just...
How do we know if our weapons are good underwater?
If they're spears and javelins.
The rules for underwater combat state that melee weapon attacks with a creature that does not have a swimming speed. So if you don't have a swimming speed or not magically gifted a swimming speed, you have disadvantage on attack roll unless the weapon is a dagger, javelin, short sword, spear, or trident. So those are the only weapons that don't grant you disadvantage on an attack, melee attack. Range weapons attack automatically misses a target beyond the weapon's normal range. So you'd have to be within its short range to even shoot it. And even against a target with normal range, the attack roll has disadvantage unless the weapon is a crossbow, a net, or a weapon that has a thrown property like a javelin or spear, trident, or dart.
Okay. Oh, I should have taken darts. Anyway, so just add a regular spear.
I'll take a spear and I'll take a javelin.
All right. You guys can each have up to 5 javelins. They have enough there that if you wanted 5, you could take them.
Spear.
Ashlyn, did you say you are good with darts?
I could be, because I could throw stuff, but I don't have any, so it's moot.
I have 10 silver darts.
Oh, I don't trust me with them.
Man, that was a long time ago, dude.
Yes, it was. But they have remained in my possession. I give them to you, Ashlyn.
Okay, 10 silver darts.
10 silver
Is
darts.
a spear one-handed or two-handed?
It can be both.
Oh, okay.
If you use it with one hand, it's a D6. If you use it with 2, it's a D8 on your damage.
Okay.
Yep.
And then a javelin.
I do not plan on taking any, so if any are interested in them.
Spear.
Oh, I misspelled javelin so poorly.
Michael, I can't remember. Was there anything special about the darts other than they were silvered?
I don't believe so. I think they were just silvered.
I might not use them because I might be afraid that I'll lose them, so... La da
They're
da.
weapons. They're meant to be lost.
Okay. Javelin. Spear. Oh, it's versatile and... Wait. But it doesn't mean I can use my dex with it, right? Because it's not finesse.
No, versatile is... Versatile is one or two-handed. What you're thinking of is finesse. Finesse is either strength or dex.
Okay. Alright.
This episode not brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
I'm not so good with strength, but we'll see how this goes.
And at that point, they all seem to take heed. Thutari, basically, Diana and Calista basically just puts a hand on each of your shoulders really quick and kind of smiles. It's just good luck.
Thank you.
Be careful.
Follow the new path,
I should get a short sword.
and then go straight up. And you should find him there.
She nods her head and thank you.
You're welcome.
Don't thank us
Keep
yet.
another eye for the arrival of Lightbringer.
They seem to just gather up their materials, what little materials they have, and they begin to swim upwards. Disappear within the new opening that is made out along the wall. You do notice while you're watching them, there are several other openings a little bit lower that you perceive that if you would have followed those caverns, they would eventually let out here closer to these spires.
Direct line is much better anyway.
There you go. Yeah. Might be definitely easier to find your way back.
Druids, man.
Druids.
Okay. I'm pretty sure Anna will take one of the spears. I don't think I need one.
Okay.
I really don't think...
I have a dagger if I need it, but I don't think I need a spear.
What, does anyone think Lachlan would take it?
Yeah. Why wouldn't he? Lachlan loves free stuff.
Yeah, Lachlan has, I believe he has a hand crossbow, right?
We'll just put them all in the bag of holding. Whoever
Yeah.
wants one can take one, and if we need them later.
Yeah, a crossbow is good underwater.
Okay.
Um,
So, and he has that, so.
yeah,
Now, is the oath bow a crossbow or is that a short?
it's a short bow.
Okay.
So
Short bow is
it's-
not good underwater.
It's fine as long as he's within his short range. If it's out of long range, it just basically by that point the arrow just starts to just sink in the water
Float.
or float.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just loses all its velocity by that point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't know, Ashlyn. The plus 11 to hit is even with disadvantage is kind of hard to pass up.
Without knowing what this thing's AC is, I'd say,
So, indeed.
And just one moment before we actually begin this, what is the deal with the oath bow? Because it is not in his.
Oh,
description.
yes, when he targets an enemy, he can say an elven or something like swift death to my enemies, and it makes that creature, it's his sworn enemy. So anytime he attacks it, he gets an additional amount of damage to it, I believe, until it dies.
Okay.
I believe it has...
Oh, it can gain no benefit from cover.
Yeah.
You suffer no disadvantage due to long range attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Which would be beneficial during this battle.
Yeah, no disadvantage during long range attack. Well, still, I think even underwater, he wouldn't have disadvantage at all for the short range. He'd still have to get within short range because the arrow just wouldn't make it that far.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't have disadvantage on the rolls.
Interesting. Well, Wolfen looks at the group, shall we?
Yes. Let's hit this thing with gusto.
Lachlan kind of looks at you guys and he's like, I don't know about this, guys, but I wonder if we'll find some more treasure.
Possibly.
One would
Why
assume if they've been sending things down there.
So you guys begin swimming, and you get to the ledge, and it just starts to descend into darkness. But just before you get to the part where it completely blacks out, you can see a couple things like sticking out of the darkness down below, and it looks like maybe the masts of a ship. And you can see it's almost like draped on the top what looks like it used to be a sail that's just ripped. And then as it descends into darkness, you can't see past like the mast and the top of the sail as it goes down even farther.
How far are we from the mast?
What was that again?
How far are we from the mast?
Probably about, by now as you're swimming, about 150 feet.
Callista, should I cast light?
No.
Okay.
As Molfin pulls a metal sphere out and is holding it in his hand as he swims down. We will need to see soon.
Yeah, but if we have a creature down there.
That is used to the darkness. Perhaps introducing it to the light of day would be beneficial.
Oh yeah, that'd be
helpful.
cool. Unless they're blind sense, but we should be able to see. That would be good because I have a feeling that the calming light thing is going to be really hard to not see.
How far away can that drift float be from you?
60 feet.
God, it's always so quick to figure out what I'm thinking.
60 feet, but it may
I believe
the
it is
beeline towards
approximately
you.
50, 60 feet from me, but
It can only be 5 feet off the ground though.
there
Which
is
is
no
really
ground
weird.
for it to be.
perhaps I made a mistake and gave one to my player.
Basically, it will remain within 60 feet of me if I continue on my way down.
It could be used as a distraction. Because if I cast Pass Without a Trace, that's 30 feet. And if it's 30 feet out of that, that's a distraction.
This is true, but while it can remain 60 feet away from me, the effect of the enchantment on it casts daylight. I will not be hidden, as I will be within the range of that light.
What if we
Again, I have ways
use...
to-
What if we use these pebbles and send them down ahead of us while we follow?
I can cast light on but one of them.
Diana, you can cast light on one of them?
I can. I cantrip.
So why don't we cast 2? Send them ahead of us. We stealth behind.
Okay.
Use the globe once we're in it. But at least we'll be able to see it coming before it can see us.
Maybe, but yeah.
Potentially.
Wolfen's gonna swim back a little, just bodily grab one of his little friends.
It wiggles in your hand a bit. Its arms are moving around.
Oh, it's so cute.
Cast light on it and push it down in the water towards a little more towards the ship.
All right. Diana, are you doing the same thing?
I just want to have like a glowing little ET finger, and I just want to go
Cool. And it just illuminates.
and send.
And it
Yeah.
And it starts-
Anastasis will send them
it starts
probably like
it starts
60
swimming.
to 70 feet ahead of us.
It starts swimming down. You guys said you were all stealthing behind.
Sorry.
Yes, I'm doing Pass Without a Trace.
Okay. You guys can all make
Step check.
stealth checks.
Yes.
Hey, lock
I'm at a disadvantage because I have heavy armor.
That was sleight of hand.
Oh, that would have been a good roll.
I rolled a
You want me to
4.
roll it? He has the same bonus. It's 11.
35 for me.
35.
Dang,
Three.
Christy is gone.
Yep.
Oh,
Wow.
Technically, he rolled a 25.
And I got a 30.
Nice.
I have a 14.
Pass without a trace. Gotta love it.
Wolfen
Yeah.
is a 26.
Nice. You guys are really swimming quietly down through, staying a little bit behind, a good ways behind your rocks. You said about 60 feet. Is that where you?
60 to 70 feet, roughly.
Okay. As these two rocks kind of descend and you're descending, you're getting closer into that area where you just drift into darkness. Those of you with dark vision can see a little bit, but it's awkward because there's not really much to see here other than just the water in front of you. And you're not close enough to the ship just yet to see any of these things start coming into view. You guys do notice, though, that when you're swimming close to the shelf, you can see that there are these very large openings within the ground below you as you swim down the angled shelf, almost as if these almost like canyon caves or things have been carving into the floor. Several of them. You can see a bunch. So the stones are having to kind of swim in a way to not fall into these little caverns and crevices down here. While you're watching, all of a sudden, beyond these two lit stones, you see what appears to be a third lit stone.
There it
Wolfen
is.
stops swimming immediately.
Yep.
And at that point, I would like you all to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Oh my gosh, wait, can I bless everybody?
This is not a magical effect, so it just is going to be a straight out roll for everybody.
Oh no.
I thought I had advantage on one stone.
Oh no, no.
Wolfen rolled
Oh,
a
I should
20.
have blessed you guys, but I wanted to wait until we got into combat. I would just like to yell at y'all
Wolfen
to...
rolls a 21.
Wow, look at
Gnomes,
that.
man.
Oh god, I must charisma, not wisdom. No, it's worse.
Okay. Molfin and Lachlan both seem unaffected. The rest of you, you feel a warmth come over you. A peace. You feel incredibly calm for the situation. And there's just something about this light that just is amazing. It could be...
It's like totally bodacious.
Could be something
I want to touch
important.
I love this light.
Oh god.
Basically what is... this is conditionally, it's the opposite of the fear effect. It is drawing you closer. So on your turn, basically you will have to use your movement to go closer to the light.
That's fine.
And you'll get to make a saving throw at the end of each of your turns to knock yourself, come to, basically.
Okay.
And since that happened, technically we're in initiative, so you guys can all roll initiative for me. I don't... I don't have a
13!
initiative order on the Roll20, but I can keep track of it here. So
25.
whoa,
I
25.
am burning my inspiration on my initiative roll.
Okay, you can do
You know
that.
what's funnier than 24? 25.
I got 17 and I got 16.
22 for Molfin.
22.
14,
My
that's
goodness, you guys are killing it.
All
Killing
these
it.
crits.
Good
All these
lord.
crits on things that don't matter.
Wow. So,
This is initiative. This matters.
yeah,
Molfin is about
It
to
does matter, I
save
guess.
all of you.
Co-
He's gonna do it Japanese style.
Callista, were you the 17 or was that Anastasia?
I'm 17 and I'm 16.
Anna 16. Okay, so 17 and
Yep.
16. Ashlyn had the 25.
Yeah.
And then we had a 22 for Molfin. And a 19 for Lachlan.
No, 17 for Lachlan.
Oh, 17.
Because I burnt my
Oh, yeah, that's right.
inspiration for
So
it.
Lachlan and Callista go with the same go.
He probably goes
Or-
before me because his dex is higher.
Okay, so
Yeah,
I'll
it's
put
fine.
Lachlan ahead of you. Okay, and then that's Anna. And then we've got Ashlyn. And then we've got the 22 of Molfin. Who are we missing on here? Are we missing anybody?
Diana,
Diana
at 14.
At 13. Diana at 13.
14. 14.
14. Gotcha.
Or is Dorn
No,
still
it
up?
is
Or
Dorn
he's-
was still upstairs. Yeah, so he's going to
Okay.
He's
be
13.
all
I'm
of a sudden
stupid.
met by a bunch of merfolk out of the blue as he's just chilling. Cool. Ashlyn, you actually go first, but you are just absolutely amazed at this glowing light that you see ahead of you. So basically what happens is you slowly use your movement to move close, 30 foot closer. What's your full movement, 40?
50.
It's 50.
50.
So you move 50 feet closer. You're like right on the tail, about 20 feet behind your little stones. And you can start to see the ship, but you're just looking a little bit beyond it to this other glow that you see. And the last thing that you can do is go ahead and make your wisdom saving throw to see if you come to.
There
Which
it is.
you do. You knock yourself out of it. All of a sudden that feeling of just this weird tense feeling comes back to you as it breaks this calming, and you just find yourself moving closer away from the group.
Huh.
She's technically out of range for passive without a trace, if that makes a difference.
Oh.
Okay, I got you. Well, technically this first round, everybody's going to be moving at about the same time. So
Okay.
if you're affected too, you guys will kind of be moving together. Molfin, you are up next.
Is there ground anywhere in front of us within?
Yeah, you guys are, imagine like a slant, a steep slant, and you guys are just swimming about 10 feet above it. And you guys are just getting down there where it's dark, but you're thinking you're pretty close to where this ship is lying on this shelf area.
Wolfen looks over at Lachlan real quick. I can prevent them from moving towards the thing. It seems like they're all starting to charge forward, but at the same point, they will be getting slapped around a little bit.
Do you think
I think I should do it.
I don't know. Do you think they see something?
Do
you think it's?
Do you think it's light? It's that thing in the distance.
I thought that was one of the rocks.
I hope not. We only casted on 2.
Oh, that makes sense. Does Lachlan have the light cantrip?
Oh, he might.
He might actually.
You say? No, he does not.
He does not. Okay.
We should let fate decide. Roll a d20 and see whether or not Wolfen's going to do this.
All right.
Odd he does, evens he doesn't.
Odd.
Okay, right in front of Diana, Callista, and Anastasius, targeting them specifically. Wolfen's going to cast Black Tentacles.
On Diana, Callista, and Ashlyn?
No, Diana, Callista, and Anastasius.
Anastasius.
With the intention to grapple them to prevent them from going towards the light.
Okay. You can either roll your dexterity save or automatically fail. Your choice.
Well, it's just such a pretty light. I think I'm just so distracted, and
Callista would automatically try to avoid this,
Okay.
regardless of who it's coming from.
Yeah, because you
Anna
technically
would probably fail it, but I wouldn't.
Okay, go ahead and roll your dexterity save.
You'd probably. Yeah. It's fine.
All right, so you take 16 bludgeoning damage as you are now grappled by a black tentacle that emerged out of the ground below you while you're swimming.
So I'm the only one swimming towards.
Yep. And I believe Anastasius and Diana, you're now grappled?
Anna will take it.
Anna will take it? Okay.
Okay, wait, so does it have it, or...
If you take it, you take the whole amount, 16 points.
Yeah, if you make the save, I don't know why I didn't put the description in there too.
I think if you make the save, it's halved and you're not grappled, right? Is that the way that works?
Yeah, a creature must make the save or take the bludgeoning damage and be restrained. That's it.
Oh, so you don't take half if you make the save. Okay.
If you make the save, you're just gone.
Yeah, which
but
makes
also
sense.
not saved by Molfin and his tentacles.
You're living on your own at that point.
I don't want the 16 bludgeoning damage. I let myself be tentacled.
All right, so you take 16 points, Diana, and these tentacles are squeezing around you, preventing you from going any farther in your swim, in your descent. Are you moving, or what are you doing there, Molfin?
And then looking, who's closest to me out of the 3 of them?
Probably Lachlan. Or the 3 of them? Probably Diana.
The 3 of them, yeah. Molfin's gonna swim forward to... Can I reach her?
Okay, yeah, you can reach her.
Molfin's gonna swim forward and just look at Diana. You'll thank me for this later if you don't kill me, and I'm gonna hand her a healing potion.
All right.
Thank you! I already have 2.
Oh, you have 3.
Yeah, thank you!
All right, does that end Molfin's turn?
Yep.
All right, it's actually Lachlan's turn next, so...
I think Lachlan is just sort of going to stay back with everyone at this point.
Okay.
Sort of trying to stay hidden a little bit behind the group. Looking at... Considering the oath bow, though. Given that the underwater locale and some of the arrows he has in his possession.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll be it.
Okay, excellent.
I should say, he'll prepare an action to shoot with the oath bow, assuming something comes into range.
Okay, gotcha. What's the short range of the oath bow?
I don't know. I don't know how to use bows.
Okay, I think it's just a regular. I think it's the same range as a short bow.
Yeah, so I'm just
Yeah.
it's an arrow range. Okay, so you know what? We're just going to look at 80.
80. Okay, gotcha.
Wow, that's got a hell of a range.
Oh yeah, that's nice. And you guys can kind of perceive that you're probably maybe about 100 feet from this glowing light that you guys see.
50 feet
Ashland's
from it?
about 50 feet from it.
Okay.
And it brings us to Callista. And I believe you're still amazed, but you're grappled.
Mm-hmm.
So
Michael, did you see my question? If all simple weapons are monk weapons, then can I use my dex instead of my strength then?
that's a good question. If all simple weapons are monk, are all simple weapons monk weapons?
Yep, I can
Yeah.
use any simple weapon.
Okay, and the spear is a
I'm
monk.
just not inside with them, so they're not.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, I think you're just not
My fists are magical, but my weapon, the spear wouldn't be.
It wouldn't be
As
weapon.
opposed to
Yeah,
my-
okay.
As
So
opposed to my fist,
yeah,
which would-
you could use it. You could use your dex, but it wouldn't be a magical weapon. So basically,
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah. Mhm. Okay. So Lachlan is moving up, kind of knocking an arrow in the oath bow with Callista. Callista, you are still amazed by this light, but now you've got this squeezing tentacle around you that's distracting you a bit from the nice calming feeling that you just had. Has been abruptly ended by a squeeze of the midsection. You can go ahead and make your saving throw.
In my head, I just have Callista going, and this is my good interior corsets.
Exactly.
All right. She's never worn a corset, to be fair.
In the slide.
Even though you're being squeezed, Callista, you're still trying to slowly move towards that light. It's just something about it. It's just so calming. You haven't felt this way in quite some time. It's almost numbing to you. It's just weird sensation. That brings us to Anastasius.
And he's grappled as well, so he's gonna make a wisdom save. Not
Anastasius.
He's still looking at that light too, but he can't swim any closer. He's trying to, but he's being squeezed as well by these black tentacles that kind of like Ursula the Sea Witch that just come out of the ends and grappled onto these things. Diana, you are up. You are also grappled, but no longer feeling that same sensation that you felt before. You kind of come to, shake your head rapidly a few times, and are watching all of your friends get closer to this thing, or at least attempt to.
Oh my goodness. And that's the end of my turn. I don't have any action.
Okay. That brings us back to the top of the order.
Oh no.
Ashlyn is back up.
I'm gonna go find it and kick it.
Did you? You haven't shaken away from it yet, have you, or did you make the save?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, you've shaken away. Yeah, the glow is
Yeah.
up there, about 50 feet ahead of you.
I should probably wait for something.
Do you?
I don't know. Ashlyn would be like, "What happened? Am I gonna go kick something?" Oh yeah.
Oh,
I just remembered what I was doing.
kicking something.
But I should wait for at least Lachlan. He gets my back up. So I will turn around and I see them all restrained, and I yell to Uncle Wolfin, "What's going on?"
They're trying to go to the light. I'm trying to stop them all.
Should I come back? Fire the tentacles! I swim back.
I had to stop them.
Swimming all
Okay,
the way back. Okay.
Yeah, I'll use my 50 feet in a minute.
Well, actually, you know what? You wouldn't have gone 50 feet because I don't think you have. Do monks have a swim speed?
No.
So you would have gone 25 because it's when you swim.
Oh, I thought you were dashing us. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. You only go one movement in this under this circumstance.
Okay. All right. So I'm only 25 feet away.
Okay.
That makes sense. So
Yep.
I'll go back to the other.
So you
20
head
feet
back to
and we're-
25. Okay.
Yeah, I'll be like, so you're restraining them to help?
Yes, because if I don't stop them, they'll go to it. And we're
But
one
are we
up.
supposed to kick it?
But we're supposed to do something to it, but we're not supposed to get near it.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Stay with you then.
Molfin, it is your turn.
Oh, I'll hold the action in case something gets near. And
Gotcha.
I'll punch it.
Oh, holding a punch in case something comes
Hold
at
a-
you.
Yeah, I'll hold the punch. Whatever.
Okay.
But we took a long rest since our last battle, correct?
I believe you
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
So are we under... Is it the next day?
Time is fluid here.
You believe so?
Mechanically, is it the next day?
Mechanically, yes.
Okay.
Because that changes things.
You know, 'cause you guys,
Does that mean
you
the
guys,
witch is gonna come back
you guys have been in
to-
the Shadowfell for like almost a week now.
Oh my god.
You think about
Are we
it.
supposed to take? Are we supposed to like take not damage, exhaustions or whatever when we wake up in the Shadowfell?
I don't think exhaustion. I think you have to make a saving throw usually, but I haven't been doing it while you were down here, just because there's been so much going on.
Mercy. Thank you.
Muffin, are you gonna roll your portents underwater?
It's more so your DM forgets.
I did that before we came down.
Oh, no! Good job.
But trying to do stones down here would be difficult. So, I would love to be able to let them go, but it seems Callista and Anastasius are still not quite with themselves. I wish I had something that would sort of shake them out of it.
Do we need to tie them together?
I don't have any rope.
I've got two. I've got silk rope. And
I'm gonna get a long shirt.
Ashlyn, if you can tie them together, then I can release the concentration on these tentacles and we can attempt to do something.
Okay. Gotta wait till my next turn.
In the meantime, I'm going to... I don't know what I'm going to do, so I'm just going to...
Can I hand him the rope and you can start tying it? This turn as action.
Molfin's going to pull out his 10 feet of chain
No, I said silken rope.
behind Callista and start trying to tie her with this chain.
No, silken rope. That way it doesn't fall. Silk rope.
What?
I don't have silken rope, I have chain.
Make
I have silk rope. I give you the silk rope for free.
I'm still using the chain.
make
Ah,
make a tie. Make a
Can I attempt to like stop that
yeah. You can contest
out
it.
of like self-preservation? I
she's
don't think
gonna-
Callista chain is no. That's something Callista no.
Callista-
Druid's
For
chain
no
is
backstory reasons, you're pulling out no.
Oh yeah, make a Callista because of your backstory. I will give you advantage on your
Thank you.
acrobatics check to wiggle out of this. While Molfin tries to, since she's like wiggling, I'm gonna call this athletics, Molfin, as you're trying to
Okay.
wrap her up in a chain.
Oh,
Wow.
This is not part
Callista
of Callista's
is very
backstory. She's
angry.
panicking.
Yep. She's starting to panic a
Molfin's
little
gonna
bit.
break Callista.
I said
Honestly, her hands have already lit on fire by this point.
It's
Like,
weird.
she's just-
It's this strange feeling because you're numb
Oh.
and you're just looking at this light, and this chain kind of just reaches back into the recesses of your mind, bringing back these painful memories of the past.
Can I use my held action to smack Molfin?
Yes.
I would like to be. I'm probably still caught up, right?
Molfin is able to
Yeah.
dodge your fist.
Molfin, that's not very nice. And you know Callista's gonna burn you when you get out of here.
Ashlyn, you're just not used to fighting under the water. It's just a different
No.
experience
Not
for
fun.
you.
Ashlyn, look at her hands. They're burning. If anything, hopefully this will wake her out of this stupor, even if she smacks the daylights out of me.
The devil out of you.
She's going
She's
to.
back to herself. It's worth the...
I need to mute myself for a minute.
Okay. She's
And that ends Morphin's turn.
It's Lachlan's turn.
Morphin is looking at Ashlyn taking a swipe at Morphin and being somewhat near the whole situation is going to sort of move over towards Ashlyn a little bit and be like, maybe we should move a little away for it.
Yeah. That's
And
seems.
he is going to swim away from Callista over his with his full 12 and a half feet of
12 and a half feet of swimming speed.
as
Yeah.
far away from her but still staying sort of clustered with the group, just as far away from her as he can comfortably get.
Okay. Sounds good. Callista, it's now your turn. Since this traumatizing experience is happening, I'm going to give you advantage on your wisdom saving throw
Thank you.
to break this.
Come on, Callista. That's better.
You do break it.
Oh!
Thanks to the chains wrapping around you. And you just look right at Molfin.
You.
I tried not to. I'm sorry, Callista.
Oh boy.
I'll help you out of them.
Morphin just sort of glances at her. She makes it with me.
Another item on the list.
Oh
There's so
boy.
many items on this list.
You hear Lachlan back there, man. Man, that list is getting long.
Tell me about it. I guess that's the end of my turn.
Anastasius.
Oh,
Anastasius is up. He's still amazed as well by the light, and he's grappled up though, so he gets to make his
Okay.
wisdom save as he's trying to still swim towards the light.
Can he use his DM's inspiration to try and break this?
He can. Anastasius has been role playing amazingly.
So great.
So great.
16.
Unfortunately, a 16 is
Oh,
not
me.
enough to break it, as he is still swimming towards the light. Diana, you are up. You have come to your senses. You're still grappled by a tentacle, though.
Both can either let me go or let me move over to our friends, okay? Because I have something that can help us with the wisdom saving throws. I mean, not wisdom saving throws. I mean, with being wiser than whatever this creature tries to pull is what I meant.
Am I able to just drop concentration on her turn?
I think if you dropped concentration, it would let go of everybody, including Anastasius, who
I'm
still...
well aware.
Yep.
Can I break my grapple?
You can try.
Morphin's just gonna, if DM will let me, I'm just gonna drop concentration.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can drop concentration, but it just goes away from everybody. So,
Yep.
Callista, you are now freed from the tentacle, and Anastasius is also freed from the tentacle.
No, but
so it just
Anastasia and
dissipates.
Callista were both chained up.
Were they chained?
No, I only chained Callista.
He only chained
Oh.
I
Callista.
didn't
up.
think I could chain two people with one action.
Okay.
Oh.
I swim towards Anastasius,
Okay.
and I would like to touch him. And I, 3 creatures of your choice within range. Oh, I don't even need to touch him. All right, 3 creatures within 30 feet of me. So, who has the lowest wisdom here?
I'm not sure.
Anna.
Hey, Chris
Anna.
Hansen, thanks for
Probably.
hanging out with us
He
tonight,
has a
man.
0.
Glad you're here.
Anna, hi.
I believe Lachlan is not the wisest among us either.
Anna,
Wise.
Anna, Molfin, Lachlan.
No, I am very well, thank you.
Anna, Lachlan.
Perhaps
Who else?
Callista, she seems to be a little confused.
You? I've got
Callista.
+5.
Anna, Molfin, Anna, Lachlan, and Callista are now blessed, and they can add a d4 to their attack rolls or their saving throws for 1 minute.
All right.
Nice.
Very cool. That was... Who, what were the 3 again?
I'll write it down. It's
Anna,
Lachlan,
Callista.
Anna, and Callista, because I know that Callista is like our tank, and we need her to not be charmed.
Okay, got you.
A point of contention. Is this a charm effect?
Chance.
It's not a magical charm, but it is a charm. But it's not magical.
Damn, so we don't get
Mechanical.
advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I was careful the way I said that whenever we were making our rolls. Cool. So is that end your turn, Diana?
It does indeed. I don't have it, or no, I want to stand in front of.
So it's an effect, though.
What's that?
It's an effect, though.
It's an effect, but it's more of a natural effect. It's not a magical one in nature.
It's like an ability.
Uh-huh.
Wait, what about this?
Monks,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Monks, man. I tell you, they have an answer for everything.
Okay, I'm just
Okay.
I didn't even know that existed. Yes.
I'm just thinking.
Yeah.
The rest of my
Yeah. You could cause a charm to go away from yourself. Yeah.
Just making sure.
Yeah, because
the rest of my movement, I want to stand in front of Anastasius and just be like, no.
Okay. Cool.
You could grapple.
And you guys notice the light in the distance goes out.
Oh no.
Anastasius shakes his head a bit, looks around at all you, almost like he's just been knocked out of some sort of weird state. And that's where we're going to take our break for the evening.
We're screwed.
Help Christy out of the chains before we leave. Close down the chains.
We chained up our best fighter.
Technically, you're still in initiative order, so we'll come back.
Okay.
Mechanically, you're still in initiative order, so we'll come back at the top of the round when we come back from break. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. Those of you hanging out in chat, thank you for being here. This is episode 62 of Storm King's Thunder right here at Proficiency Bonus. We're going to take a 5 to 7 minute break, and then we'll be right back with you, so hang tight. We'll be back soon. See you soon, guys. Welcome back, everybody. We are back with Storm King's Thunder episode 62 here at Proficiency Bonus. My name is Michael, your Dungeon Master for this evening, and we're glad that you're here hanging out with us as our party delves into the depths of an ocean-like area within the Chamber of Cruella the Black. They're seeking the gem of Oriel. And many of them were drawn to a suspicious light. But we go to the top of the order with Ashlyn next.
I'm gonna help Callista out of her chains.
Okay. Go ahead and make an athletics check.
Oh,
And let me see, what did Molfin roll up there?
A 10?
Yeah, you just have
Yeah,
to
10.
you just have to beat a 10.
Okay, I rolled a 16.
All right, yeah, you have no problem unhooking the chains from Callista and moving them away from her, which definitely seemed to be the source of her hesitation, frustrations, and the hatred that she had for that split second towards Molfin.
Yeah, I will move them. I will swim 12 feet away, then I'll swim 12, drop them somewhere in the crevice, and swim 12 feet back and be like, are you okay? How are you? Hi, I missed you. Do you need a massage? You look kind of stressed out. And that's my turn.
Molfin,
Oh, wait, I'll hold an action in case something comes close.
Molfin, your chains are now gone.
Then a crevasse.
Molfin is going to very pointedly look at Ashlyn, avoiding Callista's glaze altogether, wisely choose to say nothing.
Okay. But I'm gonna hold a spear action.
The smartest thing you've done in the past 5 minutes.
Hey, we're gonna flush that right down the toilet. As Molfin starts looking around, and you said the light's gone, right?
Light is gone. Yeah.
Except for the two other lights.
Yeah,
Are they still swimming?
They're still swimming towards the, and you can start to see that the rocks are illuminating what looks to be a sunken, very large wooden ship.
Okay. Maybe we should move closer to the ship at least.
So Molfin's gonna swim down his full 12 and a half feet moving again, sort of diagonally away from Callista, but so he can get down literally onto the ground.
Okay. Sure.
And once again start reaching forward and just muttering to himself. And
That's
once
not a
more, the hands come up as the dark energy starts to pour off. As he reaches forward and once more pulls on the fabric to pull a soul back through the realm and summon forth another wraith.
You guys all feel this just terrible cold sensation come over you as the water around you seems to almost bubble rapidly as you watch Molfin open up this rift of black energy, and this mystical creature just starts to rise out of between his two hands as he's ripped this area open, almost like he's just ripped into the fabric of the plane. And there's that creepy mystical figure just floating in the water beside Molfin, and you can hear it just going
I hate it when it does that.
and it rolled a 19 on its initiative.
Yes, he did.
Way to go, Mr. Wraith.
And as it appears, Molfin's going to look at it. There's a large creature with some sort of light in front of it. It must die.
It kind of nods at you, Molfin. And just starts to begin turning around slowly and drifting into the water. Very slowly. Does that end your turn, Molfin?
Yep.
Alright, it's actually the Wraith's turn.
Now, how does a fly speed affect the swim speed underwater?
Good question. I would say it would probably be like a normal speed, it would be halved.
Okay.
So he's basically hovering, but he's moving, but he would go half speed.
Yeah, he's basically is to where Molfin pointed, go out the 30 feet he can,
Yeah.
and then just hold an attack for if a large creature comes within range.
Okay. Sounds good. Very cool. Lachlan is up.
Lachlan is going to swim back over behind Ashlyn with the oath bow at his side. Where'd it go? Can anybody see it?
Not yet. We're
And
all
then-
waiting.
Ready an attack for when he can see it again and it's within his range.
Okay. Callista.
Okay. Okay. She is not happy, obviously.
Look at Matthew
Ashlyn.
holding the ginger ale up.
She will.
I like your
Yeah.
I like your defensive strategy right there.
I'm using Christy on Callista.
Just so you know, Ashlyn is perpetually terrified of Callista.
Oh, God damn
Molfin
it.
should be. Molfin should be, but he isn't.
He should be, but he isn't. It's fine. And Callista's well aware of that fact, too. I would like to do a perception check to see if I could find that creature that was attached to the light.
Okay, sure. You can go ahead and roll a perception check.
Using my eagle.
Okay, eagle eyes. So you put on
Yep.
you put on your binoculars.
Yeah.
Looking around. Do you have dark vision, right?
I do.
Up to how far?
Let me check.
I think we get 60 feet.
Is it
Yeah, but
60?
I'm drow.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
it's more.
120.
120? Nice.
Yeah.
Ooh, go drow.
You don't see anything that was connected to the light, per
Okay.
se, but you do see bubbles rapidly moving up in almost a trail underneath the ground where there are several of these holes, and it seems to be like a trail of bubbles coming towards you.
So the bubbles are coming out of the holes beneath us?
Yes.
Okay.
About probably from where you're at, by now they're probably about 60 feet away from you.
Okay.
I'm just gonna glare at Molfin.
That was so good.
Don't see you. Don't see you.
I can still see you. And I'm going to flank my half speed around that where it was coming towards us. I'm gonna flank around this way, opposite to Molfin,
Okay.
to like calm myself down. Because if
Okay.
I get too close to him, I won't be held accountable for what happens.
So I've got
So,
I've got the wraith kind of moving straight towards it, and you're kind of
Yeah.
coming out more so maybe to the right.
yeah,
Okay, gotcha.
yeah.
Cool.
And I just said again, it's tabled for now. And that's the end of my turn.
Excellent. Cool. Anastasius has snapped out of his trance and is no longer grappled by the tentacle from Molfin. What would he like to do?
He would probably follow me but stay behind me.
Mhm.
And I guess he will hold his action with the spear.
Okay.
Hang on, let me just double check something for him.
Did I mention your hair flows beautifully in the water?
Yeah, he'll hold his action with his spear, and he'll get all of his little pebbles to follow behind him.
Okay.
Kind of like give him a circle of pebbles around him.
Circle of pebbles just swimming around him. I love it.
Yep.
I am so getting Avatar images right now.
We've had Avatar, we've had Finding Nemo tonight, all kinds of good stuff. It's been great. Diana, you're up.
I will hold my action. I would like to hold. I would like to hold Fairy Fire.
Okay.
No, wait, no, I wouldn't because it's concentration. Dang. I will hold Guardian of Faith. And when that thing pops up, I just want to put a Guardian of Faith where it is so I can just hit it a bunch of times.
Okay. Cool.
Because I can't move it once I place it, so it needs to be in one spot.
All right. Sounds good.
Oh no, but it's dumb.
As
Mhm.
Callista, as you're watching closely ahead, those bubbles begin to get closer to you, and then they just stop.
Like it stopped moving, or the bubbles stop?
The bubbles just stop. And there's no more bubbles rising. That brings us to Ashley.
Oh no. I'm gonna go follow the Rave. Because it knows what it's doing.
Okay.
So I'm probably like 5 feet behind the Wraith if the Wraith has 20.
Okay.
I have 30.
Okay, so you're 5 foot behind the Wraith?
Yep.
Okay. It peers over its shoulder at you as it feels your presence behind it. And just goes,
Hi. Hi to you too. I don't like the way you sound. Oh, you're creepy.
That brings us to Molfin. If you're, Ashlyn, would you be holding anything, action, or...
Yeah, I'm gonna hold a spear in case something comes up near me.
Okay. Molfin.
Okay. So, did any of the rest of us notice these bubbles at all, or no?
You would have had to have, from where you were at, Molfin, you would have to have at least 75 feet of dark vision. Do you have that?
No.
Okay, you wouldn't have seen them. If it would have been just out of 60-foot range.
Okay.
The only reason Callista saw it was because she has that 120 feet.
Yeah. So, Molfin's looking
And she's got the binoculars.
I'm gonna sort of look around at everyone and swim a little closer toward. Well, so if the Wraith went straight up from Molfin, Callista went off
Yeah,
direction.
with
Molfin's
Anastasia's.
gonna swim his little bit is 12.5 feet, sort of circling slightly to the left,
Gotcha.
and then pull out a small wooden wand
Okay.
out of his inner robe
Nice.
and hold an action to brandish said device once our strange creature decides to appear.
And Molfin, within your sight range, you can also see that the little rocks with light on them have found their way to what looks to be a rather large ship. And you can see it now to a little bit to your... It's just a little bit to the left of where you guys have been looking. And there is a... It's definitely a shipwreck. There is a large opening in the side of the ship. And pouring out of it seems to be a ton of coins. Hey, thank you so much for the follow. We appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Do I see a statue in it?
Not quite, because the light is not quite illuminating inside the opening from where the ship is broken. But you can see that the little stones are trying to like swim up that way and climb the little pile of coinage and head on that way.
And that'll end Wolfen's turn still with the wand at the ready.
And a big shout out to Lady Rain 80 for following. Appreciate that.
Ayo.
Hey.
Yeah, welcome to the adventure.
Yeah. All for D&D.
It's Wraith's turn.
Okay, it's again just gonna sort of float around in that middle section,
Okay. Yeah.
looking for something big to hit.
Okay.
It's not really gonna move. It's gonna hold its action, wait for something to pop up.
What's its movement?
60 feet.
So it can go about 30.
Yep.
Okay. So
So it's basically just sort of almost like just making a little, say, 10 foot by 10 foot by 10 foot triangle.
okay, so it's moving in.
Staying right in that sort of, it's just sort of circling that central area where it is.
Okay. Ashlyn, as you watch the Wraith move forward, it starts to move around, and you see it just veer to the right a little bit as it's making its movement. Callista, you would notice that this area is around the area where you stop seeing Bubbles move. And you start to see something emerge from below the Wraith. And it is an enormous creature. I'm going to give you guys an image of what Callista starts to see as it is going up under the Wraith and opening up its mouth below the Wraith.
Oh no.
And it's going to unleash its held action against the Wraith.
There.
So I'm going to move you guys over. It looks like an anglerfish on the front. And it has a dinosaur-type body. And it looks as if it has a very long tail with a fin on it that is crackling and cackling with electrical energy.
Oh great.
As this thing pops out, it starts to glow with that stem on the top of its head hanging out in front of it is glowing as it opens up and tries to bite at the Wraith.
Now, does this trigger everyone else's held actions too?
It will. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it rolled
Guardian
it rolled very poorly. It does a 13 hit the Wraith.
Yes, it does.
Oh, it does. Okay. So let me go ahead and roll for damage here. I gotta double check my damage meter right here.
He ain't hard to hit, but he's tanky.
Yeah. Got some tankiness to him, doesn't he? All right.
Oh, laundry list of resistances.
So the Wraith will take... $39 points of piercing damage. And 12 points of lightning damage.
Oh my goodness.
As this thing comes up and bites the bottom of the Wraith. You can see it kind of rip some of the tattered robes as they just dissipate and kind of fog out. That triggers everybody else's held action. So if you are within range of your held action... Ashlyn, you were readying a spear, so you wouldn't be close enough to jab it. What was everybody else's?
Would be, though.
The Wraith would be.
Mine was Guardian of Faith. It's a 30-foot range. Am I within 30 feet of it?
You were still back with Molfen, right?
Yeah.
I would say probably okay. You probably be just within range.
Okay.
To do that. The life drain is going to hit.
So it's going to make a Constitution save.
Constitution save.
And it's going to take 31 necrotic damage either way.
It rolls a 23 on its save.
Okay.
Ah.
Fine on it. It doesn't get reduced, but...
Okay, it doesn't get reduced, but it takes 31 necrotic, right?
Yep.
Okay, so this thing,
then-
as it bites, it's almost like the Wraith just reaches down and grabs a hold of the edge of the mouth of his lips, and you can see that same familiar sign of just the life force being drained from this creature a little bit. Seems to have gotten its attention.
And now Muffin's going to fire off with his wand because it's within 80 feet of me.
It is, yes. That
I don't know if the wand would have disadvantage or not, or it's a magical effect, but it's a ranged magical effect.
It's a ranged magical effect. I would say you'd probably be okay with that. I would say it would hit.
Okay. So it is now paralyzed.
Is now paralyzed. So it is. It is paralyzed and completely still as it's chomped its teeth down onto the wraith. Diana, what was your question?
Oh, I don't have a question. I was just gonna say that thing will take a spanking from the Guardian of Faith, okay?
Yeah, your guardian is called upon. It illuminates a little bit of the bottom of the seafloor a little bit, and it goes ahead and it gets to make attacks on its turn, correct?
It sure does.
Okay.
Not on its turn, but like if a creature enters or ends it, I think it's if a creature enters or ends its turn within 10 feet of the Guardian of Faith, it gets to make a swing on you. You make a dex save. If you fail it, you take 10 points of damage. If you succeed it, you take 20 points. The Guardian of Faith sticks around, and every single time you enter its range, it hits you.
Okay.
It's like on a turn basis. It's just like,
Okay.
It's paralyzed, so it auto fails.
Auto fails the dex save. So how much damage was that it takes?
20
20
points.
points. Nice. Cool.
And that
It's
will,
going to keep doing that until it moves out of the space, I believe.
Very good. I love it.
and that will trigger Lachlan's held action as well with the oath bow.
Yeah.
It would. Is he going to call upon its abilities?
Yes, he will.
All right. Go ahead and fire it off.
So
It'll be a normal attack roll unless it grants some advantage.
I don't know if it does, but it'd be yeah, it doesn't stack, so it would just be a normal roll.
Mm-hmm.
He's also going to try shooting one of the actually would Lachlan know, or would Lachlan think, I'm asking the group because I really don't know this one.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing the electricity on the back of the whatchamacallit, on the back of this thing, would Lachlan think to not use a lightning arrow on it, given that we had talked earlier about how lightning was good to use in the water?
I'm not
So it
sure.
has advantage on the roll, but it's within range, so why would it have disadvantage?
Because Lachlan has, because of the oath bow and something with the when he triggers it, he doesn't have disadvantage. So he would get advantage on it, which would cancel the disadvantage, but it doesn't stack. So even though it's paralyzed and he has double advantage,
Okay.
it just cancels out the disadvantage.
Oh, okay. I thought it gave him advantage on it. Okay. But no.
I'm not sure Lachlan would know.
Okay. And we're gonna have him shoot a lightning arrow at it as well, so
Okay. Very cool.
I'm gonna do the hit.
That will hit. And technically he has an ally.
Within, so that's sneak it. Holy hell, this is gonna do some
Yep.
damage then.
The Wraith is
Okay,
considered
so
an
that is-
ally in this situation.
So it is 8 piercing damage from the bow itself.
Okay.
What is
No,
his
it's
sneak attack against?
it's 3d6 to the sworn of an enemy, right?
Yeah, it's either additional 2 or 3 d6.
Let me double check. I grabbed the DMG because I was going to be with him.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure it's 3d6. Let me just double check because that'll be another 13. Lachlan, you're making me rogue. This isn't easy for me.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah, extra 3d6 piercing, so it's a total of 21 piercing damage.
Nice.
And what is sneak attack for the rogue at 8th level?
I think it's 4d6 or 5d6 by now. I can't remember offhand.
Looks every which way.
Yeah, I got books everywhere too.
Yeah, me too.
Sorry, folks. On your rogue. Okay, so 8th level 4d6. So another 4d6. Okay. That's
Another 17 points.
Nice.
So that is a total of 38 piercing damage for that.
Ouch.
And then the lightning arrow was, I believe it's 1d8. Yeah.
Yeah, 1d8.
And 5 lightning damage.
Wow.
So 38 piercing and 5 lightning.
It appears that this shot, You can't see much of an impact. It hits it right kind of in the lower, behind the gills, like in the lower neck area as this thing's let loose. You see bubbles flying from beyond the arrow as it sticks right in there. The shocking electricity zapping off the arrow into the creature. It can't really move because it's just stuck there. So you're not really sure of the impact of the attack because it just basically remains motionless right now because it just can't do anything at all. That ends Lachlan's turn?
Yep.
All right. Oh, that wasn't Lachlan's turn. That was the creature's turn. So that was all everybody's held actions. So wow, good job, guys. Ashlyn, you are up.
Okay, how far away is the creature from me now?
Probably about 30 feet in front of you.
Okay, I kind of need to 25. So, I may have reached it. I'll go to 25, and I'll go to 30, and then I will do patient defense and spend 1 key point. I'll be stunned.
Okay, so you went 25 feet and did patient defense?
It's
I'll go
stunned.
30 feet,
Oh, 30 feet?
and then,
Okay, so you got right next to it.
yeah, and it's stunned, right?
It doesn't appear to be moving. It seems to be like just stuck there.
But I can't take a bonus attack, right?
If you take patient defense, you're using your bonus action to do that, I believe. I think that's what that does. You spend a key point and
Just
use your
so-
bonus action.
Yeah, but I mean, can I actually martial arts it just instead of doing that?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna do my bonus action and hit it with my fist.
Yes.
29.
29.
Yes, queen.
And my fists are magical still.
Nice.
No, spear is not.
Nice. So, yes, smacking this thing again. Man, you guys have done a ton of damage already. This thing. So you smack it.
Wait there, so.
Cool. One impact. You can feel this thing has some pretty thick hide on the side of it, but you slam right into it. I get a good shot. And Molfin, that'll bring us up to you.
So this thing is still not moving.
It's not moving.
So
If anything, it's like drifting just the slightest bit back down into the into the hole it came out of. Because it's just not swimming, it's not moving, it's just still.
So Malton is going to pick a point as about so literally about 25 feet below this thing, just enough so that it's not so that both Ashlyn and the Wraith are outside of a 30-foot radius
Okay.
of this point that Malton's picking.
Okay.
And as Malton starts moving his hands around once more and muttering to himself,
Mm-hmm.
and is going to cast Sickening Radiance beneath the creature.
Okay.
So just enough so that it gets the creature within the range. So
Now-
it needs to make a con save.
It makes a con save. Okay.
Wow. That's crazy.
26.
Yeah, that's not pass.
Alright, so does it take half of that damage?
Con save and suffers from level. No,
It's
not just it. Well, let me check the spell because I can't remember.
It almost seems
I
like
don't
there's
believe
no half damage.
Yeah, I can't remember though because I'm the one who has to type it in.
But it's concentration for up to 10 minutes.
Yep.
The light spreads around corners. Dim greenish light spreads from 30 feet from where your spirit point you choose within range. Light spreads around corners. So this green light is just emerging from the opening where this circle cave cavern that this thing emerged out of. When a creature moves into the spell's area for the first time, returns or starts its turn there. So it's got to do that on every turn as long as it stays
On
within
every
there.
turn until it
Gotcha.
until it sinks 60 feet down.
Gotcha. That's why it doesn't have the half damage on the save, because it can be hit by this thing multiple times. I bet. Yeah, so there's this green mystical light just glowing in a 30-foot radius from down below. You guys, Ashlyn and the Wraith, can see it kind of cascading up towards them, but it doesn't get you in it, because this creature is pretty enormous. Okay.
No half distance, so.
Alright. Anything else you're going to do on your turn, Muffin?
Muffin gonna swim a little closer.
Alright. It's the Wraith's turn. As you continue to swim closer.
Wraith is just gonna keep pounding on it.
Alright.
It's sitting there doing nothing, so.
Yeah. Oh, that's another hit.
Another Constitution
save. A 13 is not going to do it.
It'll fail, yeah.
No.
27 damage, and its max goes down 27.
Maximum down 27. Nice.
Whoa.
Let's be real. We ain't leaving this thing alive, so.
Very cool. Very cool. Awesome. So this Wraith is just holding on, and you're watching as it just sucks this energy pulsating back up through its skeletal arms into its form. Ashlyn, you're watching from close, and you can see it's got this sickening look to its face, and it's going as it's sucking this life out of this creature.
I'm really afraid of you. And, like, you're number one, Callista's number... Well, Callista's number one, you're number two, but I still don't like you. I'm gonna slightly move over.
It's like, you remember?
He's sucking the life out of a creature. Callista.
Yeah.
Oh, Callista!
Wolf's gonna have to summon Asmodeus himself in order to get Ashlyn more afraid of someone else.
No, Callista's still pretty high on the list.
It brings us up to Lachlan's turn again.
Okay, Lachlan's gonna take another shot with his oath bow and another lightning arrow because it seemed to work before.
Alright.
That is not Lachlan's cheat code, that is Wolfen. Okay, so that is 17.
17. 17 actually deflects off of the creature.
Ooh.
And the arrow just sort of drifts into the water.
Okay. Well, and Lachlan's turn.
Okay. Did he use a lightning arrow on that one?
Yes.
He did? Okay. Make sure you're keeping track of those lightning arrows, because I think he only had
Yeah,
like 8 or
marked
10.
them down on his list.
Okay, cool.
Can I catch it?
Can you catch his lightning arrow?
Yeah.
Um,
It's just ripped away harmlessly, right?
yeah, I mean, you can grab it. It's shed its electrical energy when it bounced off of the...
okay.
Yeah, it's no longer magical, but you can... It's an arrow.
Okay.
Callista, that brings us to you.
Moonbeam.
There it
Level,
is.
level.
There it is. I was waiting for it.
It's a 16 now. DC 16.
16 on a con save.
Yep.
Well, leave
Oh, it rolled good. 29.
Okay, so it takes half of
Sorry.
27.
That's a 27. My goodness.
And
13.
as my bonus action, I turn into a killer whale and start swimming towards it. Because I'm level 9 and I can do that now.
Everybody sees Wolfen starting to have a bit of a panic.
Moonbeam shines down onto the face of this creature past the Wraith, and then all of a sudden you guys watch as Callista, these two purple flippers just shoot out of the side of her body, and she transforms in front of you. Large whale, purple whale with these white spots on the sides right behind her eyes, and she starts to swim rapidly towards the creature.
How far away is the creature approximately from me?
Probably about 40 feet.
Okay, I'm going to flank it because I have 60 feet
Oh, so you
speed.
swim around it on the opposite side of Ashlyn,
Yep.
and you can go ahead. Oh, Moonbeam was your action?
That's my action, bonus action to killer whale, so that's my turn.
That's your turn. Awesome. So you swim over Ashlyn. You see this massive killer whale start to swim around the creature to the other side. You get startled a little bit, but then you see that the killer whale is not black; it is purple.
Oh,
And you've seen this.
I know you.
You've seen this before.
Okay.
All right.
Each kind of as it goes by.
Anastasius is up.
Okay, so the two pebbles that have light on it are going to go to continue going into the ship
Yes.
with the coins. They're going to continue to that,
Okay.
and the 8 other ones by him are going to start swimming towards the thing.
Okay. Well,
So I don't.
maybe about they're little pebbles with arms and legs. They probably swim very slowly.
They're supposed to have 30 feet of movement. So
Okay.
I guess 15 feet.
Yeah.
So they'll all. I guess they'll use their entire action to
And a dash
30 feet
30
closer.
feet closer. So they're about 10 feet away from the creature now.
Awesome.
Swimming in the large school of pebbles.
Yep, they're gonna kind of like spread out, kind of like a a reverse V formation around it.
The reverse V? Okay,
I
cool.
turn to the wraith and I go, not gonna lie, this is the weirdest fight I've ever been in.
And his action.
Oh,
Underwater with a wraith, 10 doubles,
Swimming
giant
pedals.
shark.
Man, only in D&D, folks.
He is going to cast fairy fire on this thing.
Okay. Excellent. I think that's a saving throw.
Yes.
Dexterity automatically fails.
So, yep,
It happens.
it's lit up.
It is illuminated with a glowing pinkish light. As
Yep,
it is-
definitely the
It
weirdest
looks
fight
like
I've
his
ever been
hair
in.
color.
just like his hair color, exactly. This thing is castigating light. It's weird. It's like all these pyrotechnics are going off. Like there's a green light coming from down below. It's like a laser light show, man. It's like this thing is just purple killer whale. It's like SeaWorld is having a laser light show, and mixed a little bit with Jurassic World.
There's pink light on it. There's green light underneath. There's a moonbeam on top.
Yeah.
There's all these little pebbles.
It's got that anglerfish thing on the top that's glowing yellow. It's like, what is happening here? I mean,
It's a giant glowing spectral
person.
sword and shield.
this is amazing.
Who's the closest person to Anna at the moment?
From where you guys are, probably Ashlyn?
Okay, he'll inspire Ashlyn.
All right, Ashlyn. You have been inspired by the marvelously good looks of Anastasius and his amazing luminescent light show that he's putting on with the paralyzed creature. Diana, that brings us up to you.
Ooh, temptations.
Now, does the spirit just get to make a shot at the beginning of your turn? Is that the way it works?
Okay, that was what I was looking at.
Yeah.
The thing says that whenever a creature enters its path,
Or starts
gets
its turn
to make-
there?
it didn't say or starts its turn, just
Gotcha.
said or enters its path.
Enters its path.
So I think it would need to pop back up again and again in the same spot. So, it's a little bit, stupid and useless now. It probably would have been better for like a large, like an army or something with a lot of little thingies that I couldn't kill. It's fine. We didn't read the text. It's okay.
You're fine.
We misinterpreted. It's okay.
It's all good. It's all good.
By we, I mean me. But I'm gonna drag you all down with me. No.
I'm just seeing what you typed in chat, Sarah. Underwater death rave. I love it.
Yeah.
That's the title of the episode.
For my turn, I think. So I was I wanted to yell at Christy where the gem is, so I can get to it and greater restorate it.
The
She
sickening
seems
green
pretty-
pulsing ray.
She would point down towards where the two pebbles are.
Mhm.
Like a
Okay.
sickening green
Because that's
pulsing
where
ray.
she felt it, right? Like it's straight
Yeah,
down.
yeah. It's in.
Yeah,
It's
so-
coming from in the ship.
and it's lit up
Mm.
because there's two pebbles with light on it. So that's where they're going. And you see like the coins with the pebbles.
Okay. I will use movement. Our movement is halved underwater, right?
Yes. Mhm.
Ooh, okay. If I use my action to dash, do I still get a bonus action?
You would get your bonus action, but your dash would be your regular action. So you'll have your movement, which would be 15, I believe, for you.
Yep.
Or
So
half-
she would get the 30 if she uses
30,
action
30
to dash.
feet, then a bonus action.
Okay. So I will take my 30 feet with using dash.
Mhm.
And because the range on the spiritual weapon is oh wait, crap, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to just put the information in the dumb thing. Oh my gosh, that's not what I wanted to do.
Your range is spiritual.
I wanted
3.
Yeah, you can have.
that is not my attack roll, okay? I'm not making an attack roll. I'm just casting spiritual weapon, and it says that I have a 60-foot range. So
Yeah.
I'd like to cast a javelin
Okay.
or a spear next to the creature.
Okay. Yeah,
So I can just go boop, boop,
you
boop.
can. And that attack,
You could,
that
yeah,
attack
it'll hit.
will hit. So you can roll your damage.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I don't know if I'm able to attack on that. Am I able to
Yeah,
attack?
when you cast it the first time, it attacks.
Yeah. As long as you cast it next to an enemy, and it's
Mhm.
within range, you can attack when you cast it.
Goody.
Yeah. So yeah, you did 8 points of force damage with your spiritual weapon.
And it says bonus action on its thing. So
Yeah.
I'm good here.
Yeah. And I believe you can use your bonus
Okay.
action each time to make an additional attack or move it with your bonus action.
Awesome. It says 60-foot range. Does that mean that I need to be within 60 foot of it, or that I can just cast it 60 feet away from me and keep using it?
I think as long as you initially cast it within 60 foot of you.
Yeah, it's fine. And you can move it up to 20 feet
and you-
each turn.
Yeah, you can move it up
Okay.
to 20 feet because I think you can kind of move it now at will.
Yep.
I believe.
Awesome.
You might have to check.
you
You might have to check the spell to double check, but I think so.
Here as a bonus action, you can move it.
Okay.
Bonus action, you can move the weapon up to 20 feet and repeat the attack against any creature within 5 feet of it.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Nice.
Awesome. And then how close am I now to the thing?
Actually,
To the ship.
truthfully, you had advantage, so that was actually a 23 on that roll because of the fairy fire. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But because I'm already on the way, because spiritual weapon is a magical thing, and I made it a spear, so
Yeah. That was smart.
And that's its info. And how close am I to the ship now?
You probably got about 30 more feet to go to get to the ship. But you can
Okay.
you can definitely start to see it now, and
Okay.
the coins coming out of that bottom part are well illuminated by the stones that went up into that opening in the bottom of the ship.
Okay.
Mhm.
Cool.
All right. The creature gets to go. I think, does it get to repeat a saving throw to try to get out of this paralysis?
So, yes, it's got to make a couple of saving throws.
Okay, excellent.
It's going to make
Let me-
one against the paralysis.
Okay. The first one will be a paralysis roll. This is what kind of save?
Let me check here. I never remember. I gotta look it up. It's whatever whole person or whole monster. It is a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw.
Also con.
Is a 16 going to cut it?
I think so. The wand of paralysis does not actually. Let me double check because the wand of paralysis does not say what the DC is.
Oh, excellent. Weird.
Does it use my saving? Does it use my saving throw?
No,
or
If-
the one
use the
wielding it?
wand.
It should use the wands, but if it doesn't list in the wands, we'll go from the caster.
Okay, so let me see. Wand of paralysis. Wand does 7 charges. Holding it, expend an action, make a ranged attack on it using your spell attack. So hit, paralysis 1 hit. At the end of each target's turn, you can repeat the saving throw, ending its effect on the success. Yeah, it doesn't say.
Okay, we'll go with Molfins then.
And he fails.
And he fails.
17.
All right. Seeing
He's also got to make a con.
he's got to make the con. Well, first of all, before I do that, I didn't want to blow these right away, but I'm gonna go ahead and use a legendary resistance to get out of this, or you guys are just going to destroy this monster. So legendary resistance, he is going to use one to succeed to get out of
That's
that.
it. That's it. You're done playing.
I'm done. I'm done playing. I'm done playing.
We've been all time.
As a dungeon master, I learned from the dragon. I was like, I'm not gonna blow him really quick, and now I'm like, crap, I gotta blow him. So now it's gotta make a moonbeam save.
Yeah, 16.
16. It rolls a 27.
Okay, so it takes 10 damage.
10 damage.
And then it has to make a sickening radiant save.
Sickening radiant save.
And I'm gonna burn a portent, so it'll roll a 12.
Nice.
Colette and Muffin are going all out, man.
How to break the DM.
It's gonna use another legendary resistance in the same turn.
Shit. Wow. Good job. Oh, that's great.
We're
Hey,
hey,
advantage on it for fairy fire.
Twitch chat, help me out here. Come on, Twitch chat. Where are you?
What did you ask, Sarah?
Do we still get advantage on it because fairy fire though?
Yes, you do. It's still
Technically,
active.
Yeah, it's still glowing. Yes, it
Okay.
it failed that one terribly. Ah, all right. So that ends its turn because I think that's all it can do. Because all those saves have to happen at the end of its turn, I believe.
No, for mine, actually, let me check. Yeah,
Mine's at the
paralysis
start
is
of
at
the turn.
end.
The paralysis
But
would have been at the
it's-
end. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's at the start of its turn.
Yeah. All right. So that ends its turn, which brings us to Ashlyn. Ashlyn, it does not look like it's affected by the paralysis anymore. It is moving
Okay.
around, but it is glowing with those light, and the light show is still continuing to happen.
Okay, I'm like digging this.
Got it!
So I'm gonna stab it twice, or try to stab it twice.
Okay.
With my spear.
All right. You have advantage.
Spear.
Yes.
Nice.
That will hit for 8 points.
Yeah, girl.
Spear.
That will hit for another 12.
Go
I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take a key point and do flurry of blows.
Nice. Punch that thing.
Nope.
That will not. You
I'm
just
gonna punch it again.
you hit it, but man, I tell you, it's solid. That second one does hit and does damage.
Okay.
Another 10 points of bludgeoning damage as you strike it in the side, leaving a bruise on the side of this thing. It's crazy. It doesn't feel like it even has scales. It's odd. Weird. Kind of like,
I don't.
I don't know, like
This is the-
kind of like a cartilage type feel as you slam into it.
Still the weirdest fight I've ever.
Cool. Is that the end of your
Okay.
turn, Ashlyn?
Yes, that is.
All right, it's Molfin. You're up.
Okay, so Wolfen is looking around, and this thing is massive, right?
It's massive. Yes.
Okay, and how close is it to? How close is Molfen to it?
I think you moved closer to it. You were still probably
Yeah.
about 30 feet away from it, I would say.
Okay.
Because each turn you've been slowly swimming up towards it, I would assume.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So let's see here. Molfen is going to look and seeing that it seems to be starting to. Sorry, do that again. It's really all Molfen can do underwater at the moment. Or actually, how does Lachlan's looking okay? How far is Molfen from the ship?
Probably you. Diana's headed that way. You can see Diana a little bit ahead of you. You're probably that 12 and a half feet maybe behind Diana because of your half swim speed.
Yeah.
So probably like 45-ish feet away from the ship.
Okay. And you said I'm still about 30 feet away from the creature?
Yeah, roughly. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. So I'm going to look and not really having a whole lot he can do from this range at the moment. He's going to reach out with one hand, sort of run the hand over the crystal on his staff and point it out towards the creature and cast Ray of Frost.
Nice.
Ooh, I don't think a 15 is going to do it.
15
though.
is not going to do it. You actually, now that this thing is moving a little bit, the ray of frost actually freezes to ice even before it gets there, and you watch as it just shatters into this slushy form into the water. Yeah, you take an ice cube out of the water and start to chew on it.
In the water.
In the water.
Out of the water, in the water.
In the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of the in
Actually,
out
mine is like,
out from in the water. Yeah, that's strange to say.
yeah.
Out from in the water, then put it back into the water.
Yeah, there you go.
my God.
Back to water.
Mind is blown.
Mind blown. It's it come back full circle right there. Full
Yeah,
circle.
my intelligence is just what?
Why didn't I think of this? And as a bonus action, Wolfen's going to sort of look around and, with a little mumble, going to cast Misty Step to pop up right next to this thing's little light stalk.
Oh.
Oh. And there you are. Right next to this shining light as it's glowing on Molfin's shrouded form in the water. Even Molfin looks creepy underwater because the shroud, as it normally hangs down on the shoulders, is like floating behind him almost, like as he's sitting there. Almost looks like he has these two black tendrils like sticking up from his back.
And from what Dorn told me, I have the heebie-jeebies.
So, yeah, you do. The Wraith gets to go.
Okay, so the Wraith is going to take another swipe at this thing as it's so right in front of it.
Fairy Fire advantage. That's gonna do it. Let me make my Constitution save here. That is a 20 for the Constitution save.
That'll save.
Take the damage as it's continuing
17 necrotic damage.
to suck the life out of this thing. 17 necrotic. Ooh, this thing is looking like just the life being sucked out of it. Its head is starting to shrivel and wrinkle a bit. The cartilage seems to be having this, what looked to be a rather smooth texture on its face is starting to look wrinkled and mangled a bit from this terrible life-draining force that's been brought upon it. Be Lachlan's go.
Okay, and Lachlan can now see the treasure, correct?
Oh yeah, Lachlan can see the treasure. Now it's illuminated by those little stones down there.
And how far is he from there?
Probably about the same distance you were, because he was hanging back, taking these shots
he
with
was
the other
taking back a
bow.
little to the side, from the other side, though.
Yeah, well,
said about
if
45 feet.
he was at the other side, it'd be a little bit farther. But if he was over there with you, probably about 40,
Where was
45
it?
feet.
Where was Ashlyn in relation to Molfin initially? Because that's where he was.
Ashlyn was a little bit ahead of you initially,
Okay.
because she had been drawn out and then came back and then kept on going. So she was like
Yeah,
moving back
he
and
would be
forth.
wherever she started before she went full tilt out.
Okay, so probably, I'd say probably 40, 50 feet.
Okay, so he is going to move dash. Because he can use bonus action dash,
Okay.
action,
And that,
and then move
so that gives him,
to move 45. Well, he's no.
yeah, so,
actually,
yeah, I think he can get close to it then,
30.
yeah.
Yeah, so he's about well, it's like 36, 37 feet. somewhere in that
Yeah, so
range.
he's probably about 15 feet away from this opening in the ship where he can see all this coinage just pouring out onto the ocean
Again,
floor.
it's, doggy paddle, trying to shovel, just fly down as quick as you can.
Very cool. Sounds like Lachlan. Callista, it's your go. You are a enormous whale.
Bonus action, slam it back into him.
All right. Oh, yeah, this is the moonbeam, right? So
Yep.
That's a con save.
16.
It fails this time.
So it takes 20.
20 points?
Yep. That's right? I did the math, yeah.
All right. Oh, this thing
Okay,
is
and-
burning up with the moonbeam.
My action to bite it.
All right, go ahead and bite it.
Bite its butt.
Bite its butt.
22.
22 points of
Nice.
damage. All right.
No, that's 22 to hit.
Oh, 22 to hit. Yeah, that definitely hits. You can roll again to see if you crit because of fairy
oh, right.
fire.
That's you right. Let's find out. Nope. Okay.
Nope. Okay. You can roll your damage.
So damage. Ooh. $5d6 plus 4. 21 damage.
21 damage. My goodness. And does that end your turn, Callista?
Yeah, that's also magical.
Okay, gotcha.
FYI.
Gotcha. So at the end of Callista's turn, it's going to use a legendary action because it is getting really mad.
I wonder why.
And all of a sudden, from the glowing tendril that hangs off of its head, right beside Mulfin, actually, it's almost like this magical pulse just goes into the water around it. So
Is it a spell?
it is not a spell, it's an ability. And as this pulses, as it leaves, you can see that almost slowly, these little bolts of electricity start to emerge and get bigger as they come out from the central source. Everybody within 30 feet of the creature is going to need to... I don't know, well, let me see. Needs to make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
Lachlan, Anna, and Callista, you have an X. You can roll a d4 and add it to your saving throw.
I think Anna's out of that range. She's not close to it.
Do I roll?
I think I'm out of that
and
range,
add
too.
and then add my bardic inspiration if I fail. Oh wait, I don't need to.
Yeah, you can
Would
use that.
Lachlan be within that range?
Yes, Lachlan would be. Technically, Diana would be as well.
Okay.
I think that's almost everybody.
Ooh. So, I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
I can
'cause-
save the
Please
24.
don't give me massive amounts of damage. Please don't hurt me.
Let's see.
I give Diana my nat 20.
No, you don't. I already
Wait.
rolled.
Hang on. I gotta roll for the other ones. Hang on.
Yeah, we need to roll for Anastasius, right? And the Wraith
No,
too.
not Anastasia. Anastasia's behind me,
Okay.
like before, so
Yeah.
he hadn't gotten closer.
Okay, gotcha.
He was at least 60 feet
Sure.
away from it.
Oh, the little thing.
Yeah, hang on. Let me find it. I gotta find the con score.
Did the creature move? Is that why I'm back in its range?
When you're moving towards the ship, you're not only moving towards the ship, you're moving towards the creature as well. The creature is standing to the right of the ship.
No.
Nice drawing, I love it.
I wanted.
I
I
love
pictured
it.
that completely different in my brain. I was picturing the ship is like to my
Okay.
right, and then the creature is like far off on the left.
So here's
And I was like-
what happens, and I'm gonna describe this to you. If you rolled a 15 or higher, you're going to take half damage.
Oh no.
Okay? Now, here's the kicker. The damage that you take is going to be reduced a little bit because of the blessing that you guys have on you from answering the riddle to open the door.
Oh.
So, here's the way this works. If you have lightning resistance already, you are now only going to take 1/4 of the damage of lightning damage. If you do not have lightning resistance, you have lightning resistance for this battle. So all lightning damage is halved for you guys. Because you are basically, you're giving a buff coming into this. Because you got the riddle correct.
So, would the animated objects also get hacked since they weren't there? They were already summoned when we did it?
They were summoned when you did it? Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
So basically,
protect our pebbles.
So
Every-
if we save, it's half plus half, so it's quarter.
if you save, that is correct. And
Okay.
if you save and you're already quartered, you take no damage.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay?
So if I fail,
You just take half.
So here's the deal.
okay.
The total damage is
Mhm.
28 points of lightning damage. But if it's halved, you only take 14.
And half of that is 7.
Half of that would be 7. I
Okay,
think
so
Molfin, because you have a ring, I think you're attuned to. I think you take nothing. If I remember, I can't remember who has that ring, but I thought somebody had a ring of lightning resistance.
I have a ring of protection.
That might be. I might have gotten the wrong ring.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, hang on. I'm rolling.
That just gives me that just gives me a boost to my saving throws and my AC.
Oh,
What,
gotcha.
what is the save that DC?
What is the save
I know.
DC?
Mm-hmm.
It was 15. If you rolled a 15 or above,
Oh,
You're fine.
Except for 2 of them.
Okay.
and that was at the end of Callista's turn. So that's going to bring us to Anastasius.
Oh yeah. I roll my con save for my concentration spell.
Oh, yeah, you're good. You're fine. No problem there.
Oh wait, that's right. I gotta take off my 14 damage. Oh, I gotta do when Lachlan fail. Where's Lachlan? You said it was a 15?
Yeah,
15, yeah.
Good. So Lachlan saves.
Yeah, I think the only person that failed was Diana, right?
Oh wait a minute, my roll is 7, not 14. I can count. Yay!
I don't know when to use this nat 20, guys.
Anastasius is up whenever he would like to go.
Okay, hang on. I'm just
Doing
calculating.
mathing.
Yep. Because he has like 10 of these and 2 are out of range, and then 2 saves, so there's 4 left.
It's four
Okay.
little pebbles hanging out still.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well, 2 of them are in the ship.
Okay. And the other ones just their legs and arms leave and they just kind of float down to the
Okay,
bottom.
So 2 of them will attack.
These little rocks are attacking it.
Yeah, they're attacking.
Oh, I love it.
Yes. That's awesome.
The weirdest fight I've ever made.
If one of them gets the killing blow, I'm going to be so embarrassed.
Oh, that's helpful.
So the
just
first one,
just like that,
Rocks in that
Zos.
one?
Just like that.
9.
Oh, that's a 1. Natural 1. Oh, it crit. A little pebble just crit.
No, wait. That's the first one still because
Yeah,
mine-
yeah, it's got advantage because of fairy fire. Yeah.
Okay. What do you?
So you got to roll it twice again.
14. I don't think that
14
hits.
is not going to hit. So you can roll the
Okay,
damage
so-
for the crit though.
So that's 2.
As this little rock puts its hands together and does the double axe handle slam onto the creature.
That was my impersonation of a pebble.
That was a good person.
That was a very good
Thank you.
impersonation of a pebble. Take a
7 damage.
Diana, take a point of DM's inspiration for that.
Yay!
So-
I'm a pebble.
7 points of damage to this creature, who seems to be getting angered even more as you guys continue to pummel it.
With a pebble.
With a pebble. Yes, you are pummeling it with a pebble. You've seen it here, folks, at Proficiency Bonus. As they're going,
And then what's Anna gonna do?
they're gonna pummel the boss with an animated pebble.
He is going to. He's psychic. Okay, so. Yep. He's gonna use Phantasmal Force on it,
Okay.
and it needs to make. What type of save? Intelligence save of 18.
Intelligence save of 18. Oh boy, that's going to be 23.
Okay, so nothing happens, I don't think.
Okay. So Anastasius starts mumbling some arcane language, trying to call upon the fabric of the weave, of the magical weave, to help him out here under the water, but nothing seems to be happening at this point. Is that end Anastasius' turn?
Yes.
That pebble, I think, deserves a name. Somebody needs to name the pebble.
Let's name him Rocky.
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 I was about to say, Rocky.
Rocky, that's it. Rocky is here, and he is well.
Really? I was gonna name
He's
him.
Nat
the
20.
Rock, like the wrestler.
Yeah.
One can be called the Rock, and the other one can be called Rocky, because there's two that are fighting left, and the other two are lit in the pirate ship.
If you smell.
Okay, so we got Rock, the Rock Roxon, and then we got ASAP Rocky.
Nice.
Yeah.
Diana, it's your turn.
Oh boy. Okay, so first things first. I'm gonna take that health poultice that Molfin gave me.
Mm-hmm.
How much was that one? Molfin?
D4 plus 4.
D4 plus what?
2d4 plus 4.
2d4 plus 4.
Okay, so you're drinking a healing
Just
potion?
a regular health potion.
Oh, nice roll. Max HP.
Wolfen is officially forgiven for enjoying Diana, because that just healed you for most of it.
Yeah.
Officially forgiven, indeed. Okay, so now I need to math really quickly. 7 plus 2 is 9. That's another one. I'm at 39 hit points. Okay. And then I haven't moved, so I believe that I'm still within 60 feet of... Who am I within 60 feet of?
I think you're within 60 feet of pretty much everyone, maybe except for Anastasius. I think he might be the only one that's out of your range.
Okay, Anastasia was the only one who didn't get hit, so I will use my bonus action to cast Mass Healing Word
Okay.
for 9 hit points for all of y'all.
9 HP
And-
as...
I will take that.
And then I will use my 15 feet of movement to swim further towards the ship, hopefully dodging the monster.
All right.
It's as roundabout as the monsters I can get.
And I think you got pretty close to the you're like almost right neck and neck with Lachlan as you guys are heading both towards the ship at the same time, really, is the way that's kind of playing out. That ends Diana's turn, and that brings us to the creature. And you guys all notice that he probably has to make 2 saving throws, right?
Yep.
Dang it.
He has to make. Yeah, let's roll.
So the first one I'll do against Molfin's spell. Which saving throw is that?
Okay, so that is a con save.
That's a 23.
That'll
It
save.
saves again. Constitution just happens to be its specialty.
That's fine. The 16 con save.
That's an 18 for the second one.
So it takes half of it. It takes 8?
8 points.
9.
9.
9? 9.
Yeah,
9.
because it's half of 19.
19.
All
Nine.
right. 9 points. It's looking very badly damaged, and all of a sudden you see this electrical energy start to wrap around it, starting from the tail area. It starts to wrap around, and it kind of looks like this electrical energy is just zapping on it in different places, like, and you can just see it like just zapping all over it. And then it is going to try to bite one of you. Let's stick with the dice here, because I don't really know who it's going to attack.
It's got 4 of us around it. No,
It's
It's got 2 rocks. It's got
Yeah.
a monk and a killer whale. So it's got like at least 4.
Rave.
Oh, Malfin's by the head,
It-
so that's
yeah,
5
and-
people
yeah.
around it.
it's going for Molfin,
Oh no!
and it's going to try to bite him.
Oh no!
Oh, why aren't you biting the rock?
That's a 16.
That'll hit.
That does hit?
Oh.
Oh, I thought it was going to be close. Okay, I need to roll some damage.
Oh no!
Boy,
Jeez,
boy.
not good.
Sorry for the delay, folks.
You get so many dice to roll. Try to kill the gnome.
33 points of piercing damage, Molfin. And an additional 7 points of lightning damage. Which
But you take, is that halved?
it would be halved.
Yeah, the lightning's half.
Yep. As this creature bites into you, its tail is drifting up out of the bottom as well, and it's going to swing its tail around and make a second attack against Ashlyn.
Okay.
This one is going to be a natural 20 on the die.
No.
Ooh. Ooh boy.
And it's half the damage for your concentration check, right?
Yes, half the damage or 10. I believe it's 10 or half the damage, whichever is.
Okay. So that was.
So you are good. Ashlyn, you are going to take.
A ton of damage.
Actually rolled low. Oh, except for that
I
one.
don't-
Molten lives.
Okay, it's 29 points of bludgeoning damage
Okay.
from the tail.
Okay.
And an additional... An additional 21 points of lightning damage.
I'm still up.
And that should be halved because of your resistance.
Okay, so it's 10 really?
It'd be 10.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, 30.
As this creature is just wailing out now. It's going crazy in front of you guys and just lashing out any way that it can. That will end its turn and bring us to Ashlyn at the top of the round.
Oh, I could have used evasion. No, that was dexterity. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna nat 20 my first spear attack.
All right, nice.
Cause why not?
Cool.
So I'm just gonna say I hit it.
Yes, yeah, you hit
And
it.
then
Nice.
So that's
18.
18 points of damage. This thing is looking really rough.
the second time I'm gonna
Ashlyn, unfortunately, when you hit it that time, it still has all this electrical energy, like zapping around it. And you take an additional 14 points of lightning damage when you strike it this time.
Yeah, so
That's
7.
half, so 7 points.
Still 9.
Please swim away. Swim away.
It's fine, I'm gonna end it. If someone else doesn't, I'm gonna end it.
So the
I'm gonna-
nat 20 has been used. It is gone. I'm going to erase it.
Yeah.
Erase it here from our board. Let me see if I can find the nat 20. There it is.
I'm still gonna hit it.
We're going to hit it.
I feel like, yeah.
Okay.
I have to. So spirit. Nope.
That one will not hit. The water kind of slows it down. It seems to shift awkwardly, and one of its fins kind of knocks you off balance in the water because you're just
But
treading water next to it. Martial arts? Oh! Yes!
sorry.
Okay, Ashlyn, as lightning zaps you for another 10 points, so 5 points of damage, explain to us how you destroy this thing.
Oh my god. It looks like this, and it's just magical. I'm just gonna go, this is awesome for Diana and everyone else, and stop being so weird! Why is this fight so weird? I'm just gonna pummel it.
And so it's just being pummeled. And you, as every time she punches it, more electricity is being jolted through her arms and just zaps her every single time. But she seems to be unaffected as she's just determined, just slamming this thing like a punching bag. And then Callista, as you're getting ready to bite into the back of this thing, it just drifts back closer to you, and you take a bite out of the back of it. Molfin, you grab the tendril that's sticking up on the top of its head. What would Molfin like to do with this thing? We're gonna make this a total party destruction right here.
Can my creature take a swing?
Yes! What kind of weapon is it
That's
using?
not there.
Just pulling it down towards the Wraith's face to let the Wraith reach up and grab onto the light.
Moonbeam burrowing a hole through its head.
Nice. Moonbeam burrowing
And
down.
then my giant spectral thing just
Slamming it down, kind of what's
Whack-a-mole.
whack-a-mole. Yeah, just like slamming it down into this pit. And you watch as the Wraith just sinks down in with it, and it's just going, holding on to that light, and the light is dimming as electricity is zapping all around the Wraith. And it just disappears down within the hole. And you guys are out of encounter.
wow. We some bosses.
That was. I hate
We
that.
destroyed that thing.
Great. I advise you all drink some poultices. Drink some potions.
I gotta roll some dice there.
Roll you hit die.
Forgetting that I sort of regenerate health every round.
Yeah. You've been keeping track of that, right?
No.
Oh,
I
yeah, you forgot about that. Yep, that was one of your buffs.
didn't get an ion stone or whatever the hell those things are.
I'm swimming towards the lights, still swimming. Keep swimming, just keep swimming.
Okay,
What
I'll
can we do?
swim with you.
Lachlan doesn't care about the lights. He's just swimming down, trying to beat Diana, and just trying to shovel.
I'm gonna
them
keep
more
them all
treasure.
there because I'm still a killer whale.
Oh, yeah.
That's-
Callista bursts through, making the hole bigger in the side of the ship, and just bursts through, cutting you off as you guys are trying to get in there.
okay.
How is Ashlyn feeling right now? Is she feeling okay?
She's okay.
Mm.
She's a little perturbed
Yeah.
by all the she's a little sensitive besides what people think. So she's a little perturbed by all the lights and all the dancing, all the rocks and everything. So she's just
Ashlyn, come
worried.
here and I'll heal you.
Is it gonna be flashy? I can't do flashy anymore.
It's not gonna be flashy, I promise.
Okay. I swim over.
Martha just sort of smiles and, with a crack of thunder, is going to teleport into the ship. Start looking around.
It's a really,
Why are we racing?
it's a weird sound because the crack of thunder underwater. I'm not even sure what it would really sound like. You know, just this muffled, thunderous sound. You guys, those of you that made it to the ship, Lachlan is busy just raking coins into his bag of holding. You guys notice as you go in.
Looking around of interest.
Oh yeah, you guys come in, and basically, as you open up, most of the ship is destroyed on the inside. There are wooden chests that are just hanging open everywhere. It seems like numerous coins are just laying everywhere within this one hold area. You see beyond there, it looks like to be a door that's kind of open, but it's off its hinges. And beyond that door, it looks like there would be maybe a captain's office or study of some sort. And beyond that, you can see a stone sculpture sitting in a chair. And it's just kind of sitting there.
I will heal everybody and then
I will
float
drop,
up.
I will drop form once I'm inside.
Okay. But Diana is casting Cure Wounds.
Yeah, I casted Cure Wounds on Ashlyn because she seemed really hurt. Those rolls were great. And then I casted Mass Healing Word, and those rolls were terrible.
So that's 10,
So
10 points.
everyone gets 10 points of healing. Ashlyn gets 13 plus 5.
All right, so 8,
So she gets like 20, over 20 something points of
20,
healing.
20.
And everyone else gets 10.
All right. So, Ashlyn, you are feeling a little bit better as Diana helps to heal some of your wounds.
And then I shall go and Greater Restore. Wait, maybe I should ask first. I think I have one more spell. I can cast Death Ward on this girl. So she's probably definitely going to drown here. But I can return her hit points to 1. I can spare her a moment as she's dying. So she doesn't instantly die. If that's at all possible, do you think?
We could, and then I can recast water breathing in that
Yeah.
split second if we time it right.
Yeah. So she's like, because I think that she's going to start drowning as soon as we bring her.
Yes, but if you can death ward her long enough for me to cast the spell, it
Death
could
ward
work.
lasts for 8 hours. She just if she's going to start drowning. She's going to start losing losing oxygen quickly, so she'll probably
Right.
die quickly. But I think that if you can get to her before she drowns completely,
We'll
then
time
you're
it.
good.
Diana,
Okay.
I think you would probably know that. Well, at least Callista would know that as soon as if Callista recasted the water breathing, and it affected this woman, that effect would probably come into it would happen instantaneously. So you don't think like if you brought her out of this state and then cast water breathing on her, she would presumably be able to breathe underwater and be okay. So you wouldn't really probably need to death ward her.
Okay. It's more of just timing it up with the the greater restoration.
Yeah, and you know, it's not like she might be surprised for a couple seconds and not be able to breathe, but she's not going to just write out hey, I'm underwater, I'm dead. You know,
Okay.
it's going to take
Okay.
a moment.
How long does
Yeah,
it take to
drowning is-
Well, she's going to be unconscious anyway, so let's just do it.
All right, restoration.
Water breathing.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Not a ritual, just casting it.
All right.
Yeah, just casting it.
All right. So as Diana holds the pouch of diamond dust in her hand and calls upon Ilmater's wonderful divine powers, she holds her hand next to the statue, and you watch as this yellow glow starts to emerge from the statue, and the flesh form starts to appear back within this woman, and you can see it's a brown-haired elf that starts to come forth in a more natural-looking green garb. It's very elegant, but not as kind of Disney princess as the other ones that you guys have saved thus far. And immediately, basically, you watch as her eyes open just a little bit, and she breathes in.
Water breathing already.
And as you cast the water breathing, she's stunned at first and not really sure what is happening, but she looks very weak and tired and barely conscious.
I'm going to take the gem
All right.
that she has.
You take it from her. You easily pull it off under the water as it's now in your hand. It looks like it has it's a green gem within this, what looks to be a design that has a ship on it with an octopus kind of grabbing its tentacles around the gem, holding it within the amulet.
I take it.
Mulfin's digging around. You guys are finding.
Muffin and Lachlan ignoring you guys.
Is digging around.
Can I tell them to look for the components for greater restoration?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay.
That would be
Diamond,
Diamond.
right?
that's worth at least 100 gold pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Just a diamond, which we could try and grind down somehow. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
even if we can't find dust, like just find a diamond.
Okay. The
I'll join. I'll help them search.
Okay. You guys are searching around. Unfortunately, you don't seem to find any. There's not really any gems around. You find a lot of coin. You find in total there's 11,000 gold pieces here,
Oh my god.
and an additional 1,400 platinum pieces within this ship. The coins look different, though. They look very old, but they're relatively clean from being in this environment. Looks like they might have been here for quite some time. There are also 3 very elaborate-looking sculptures that are looks like they're relatively very old and very nicely made. They look to be carved from obsidian and look to be very expensive. You see that there is a potion bottle among the coinage that has a thick, silvery liquid inside. Almost looks like melted metal.
Okay.
Have we seen this before?
You know what? You have, actually. Zulkin had one that he drank in Nightstone.
Already then.
There is also... for some reason, I didn't write down what these were. Blah! What am I doing? Wrong book. Wrong book. There is a, there are 2 scroll tubes here. Both in cases. You're not sure if opening them under the water would be the greatest
It'd be
idea.
a good idea. Yeah.
No, I'm just immediately sticking those in later, see who can use them.
Especially with age and things like that, you're just not sure how they will be able to hold up. You also find something that looks like it's a carving. It's a small carving. It's kind of statuesque looking. It looks like a feather.
Looks like a feather.
Looks like a
Oh, like a wooden feather?
It's like a carved, more like out of like an obsidian, probably.
Oh, obsidian.
Yeah. I think I might have a picture of it. Maybe I don't. Oh, that's weird. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead. Let's make a roll. Zos, go ahead and roll. Can you roll a D100 for me?
Oh boy, we all know that I'm the luckiest at that.
37. Great. Okay, actually, you see, there is a
So we're saying no to the carving of the feather?
It has feathers on it, but it appears to be. Actually, I'll just show you what it looks like. I think I can show you in my camera and see if I can get it on there. Do you see this one with the? It looks like a tiara with a bunch of blue and white feathers sticking out of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what you see. Under the water.
Okay.
And for the most part, you don't find any diamonds or anything, but that's basically everything of really important value that you guys seem to discover. Lots of old broken wooden barrels. This ship was very elegantly carved. It definitely looks elven in make. And looks like it's been here for quite a long time.
So I have a question.
What's up?
Okay, so I know that I used our diamonds to bring Dorn back to life twice. Sorry about that.
It's fine.
Those were different. Do we have any more? 'Cause those ones had to be diamonds worth at least 500 gold. Do we have any ones that were smaller or less than that we could grind up?
Let me check.
And does it have to be one diamond worth 100 gold pieces? Could we find a bunch of tiny ones and bring them?
As long as it equals 100 gold pieces, it doesn't matter.
Also, I find it peculiar that my deity, who is all about, like, emulating poverty, wants me to have all these fancy old things for my spells. I'm just saying. He's a weirdo. You're hypocritical. No, I'm kidding. Blasphemy. And if not,
Question, DM.
Yeah.
Were any of the gems in the dagger diamonds?
No, none of the gems in the
Okay.
dagger were diamond.
now I'm wondering if we could maybe go back to the dragon's hoard and check again.
No, we did.
We got everything
Specifically
there.
look for that.
Try to rob the not rob, of course, but ask the young woman that we have rescued if they are in possession of anything
We
valuable.
can ask.
Like,
We can ask. At the moment, I think we're kind of.
one of them perhaps a necklace or a tiara with some diamonds in it that we can take.
Christy, just so you know, I'm getting a little bit of a crackle from your microphone.
Who, me?
Christy.
Me?
It might be your fan. Do you have a fan blowing in your room?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
There you
I can stop that.
Cool,
Hang on
it's
one
all good.
second.
I go hi to the girl.
She almost immediately after breathing underwater, she kind of drifted off into unconsciousness.
Nice.
It doesn't seem to be because of the water breathing seemed to work, but she just looks very exhausted. I mean, just
Okay. Alright. Kind of like just keep
Make
Mm.
our way
an eye over her.
to the fountain. At the best situation, we can arrive there. There was thousands upon thousands of amulets along that hallway we passed,
That's a good point.
with gemstones upon gems upon gems. One would assume
Are they
we'd be able to
anyone
find
else's
at least 1 or 2
souls?
diamonds in there.
My only problem with that is that we have no idea what's in those. It could be someone else's soul, it could be completely empty, it could be a monster waiting to be released. We have no idea.
He can identify it before we do anything.
No, that's true. I say that's fair. Might not even be magical, though, you know?
They could just be empty stones.
It could be. Maybe she keeps a. That would explain why Kelly's
That's how
stone
she. Yes,
reappeared.
exactly. That's exactly how Kella got a new one.
Lachlan looks at you all. I could definitely go through the gems. I mean, that's no problem.
Oh, Lachlan.
Perhaps we will send you back there.
Let's get her up first.
Yeah. Are
So
the merfolk back in their homes, or are they up?
The merfolk?
Assume so.
You told them to swim up the well, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they would be out.
Okay, good.
Mhm.
So we'll go back out.
Okay, so you guys swim on out. Mhm.
As we start getting closer and start coming back up the well, Alpin's gonna pull out the drift globe and activate daylight.
Okay. And just to easily find your way through the water and
Well, no, waiting until we're closer to the well.
okay.
So all of a sudden from the well you get this shiny.
Oh, this light
That's
shoots
not
out the
nice.
top of the well as
That's
you guys
not nice.
as you guys emerge heroically, dripping wet from the water below the well, and you guys all stand out of there. As you guys emerge, you can see that all the merfolk are there's about 8 of them with Tedrin,
Children.
the elderly
I
one.
go, I go up to Thutari
What's
and I say, your monster has been taken care of, and we have Oriel with us.
oh,
She landed the killing blow.
you,
Oh, yeah,
you-
that's okay.
Thutari looks at all of you with just amazing, just super excitement on her face. Like, just this exuberance that she can't just hold in. She's just so excited. They're kind of submerged in this little water that's on the edge of the pathway a little bit. And she just rushes up to all of you and just embraces Ashlyn with a
Aw.
deep hug. But you guys also notice there's a little bit of a somber notion about this, too, as you look beyond. And it looks as if Tedrin is lying there with a few of the merfolk with him. And it appears to be as if he is near the end of his life.
Aww.
At least he's not alone.
But he is rather, even though he looks tired and weak, he looks happy.
Oh, I go, thank you, Tedrin. You've done a good duty.
He reaches up and kind of touches the side of your cheek, Ashlyn, and gives you a very weak smile, but you can see that sparkle in his eye. And he kind of just gives you a quick nod, and one of the others looks to you, and he says, he's been waiting for quite some time for this.
Aww. Get too attached to NPCs, I gotta turn away.
Oh my god.
How long do you think he has left?
You know, and the one that was talking to Ashlyn looks up at you, Muffins, and I think a mere minute or two. But
I cast a shady look to Molfin, like, don't even think about it.
But you know what? And he looks at you, Molfin, and he looks at the rest of the group, and he smiles a little bit, looks down at Tedrin. Tedrin still has that weak smile on his face. I think he's okay with that.
Yeah.
I would like to start throwing water lilies around him like a bed to give him a pillow for his head.
Oh yeah, that's amazing. So these water lilies start to emerge from underneath his head, surrounding his shoulders, just cradling him a little bit. As he watches, as some of the merfolk start to move towards the main entrance of the chamber. A sight that he wished that he could have been a part of himself, but still ecstatic that he got to watch some of his compatriots, some of his family, some of his people get to have an opportunity to be free. And that's where we're gonna end tonight. That's where we're gonna end tonight's episode because it's 11:20.
Boy.
Woo! Wow, that was pretty incredible, guys. That was amazing.
It wasn't Eve.
Well done, everybody.
The
Yeah.
ending was harder than the boss fight.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight here at Storm King's Thunder. Yeah. Chris Hansen, you've been hanging out with us the whole time. Thanks so much for chilling with us tonight, man. We appreciate that. Love it when you guys chime into chat. I don't get to type as much because I got my laptop way from me, so I can't get to the Twitch chat as easy as I used to be. I can still see it and shout out to you guys. So thank you guys for tuning in. This was episode 62. We are going to be off next week.
We love you.
Yeah. Yeah, official taco parade. Yeah, we love you guys. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, Bogsville. Yeah, Bogsville too. Thank you guys so much. Yeah. Yeah, you guys are incredible. Thank you guys so much.
Ted Vito. I want to.
No.
So yeah, next time that we'll be together will not be this coming Friday. We'll probably have a one-shot airing next Friday, February 1st. So we'll be back for episode 63 on February the 8th, I believe that's the correct date.
Yep.
If I've got that right. So we'll be back for that episode then. And we'll have MG back for that episode. He'll be back from all his responsibilities. So we'll be back to full strength as we continue on in this adventure. We need to give away a Nat 20. So what do you guys think as far as Nat 20s go? Wow, you...
I don't think Molfin for restraining, not for the chains, but for restraining his party to begin with, so they wouldn't walk towards the light.
That was good. You did kind of save all of our butt.
I did sort of traumatize Callista out of her
that is
Yeah.
kind
We're
of
gonna
metal.
kill.
Yeah.
Yeah, so great. Yeah, he totally deserves a nat 20 for the change. Totally. I totally agree.
Not
100%. Uh-huh. Mhm.
No, I didn't mean that. See?
I'll give Christy a hard time. Just like you.
Huh.
I know.
I think the Wraith deserves the nat 20.
Yeah, the Wraith did some crazy damage.
That Wraith did a ton of damage to that boss.
Between the Wraith and Ashlyn again.
Yes. The Wraith and
That
Av.
combination right now, man.
It's pretty, yeah. That's a good combo to have.
Between that and the paralysis, give everybody advantage.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah,
I've-
that too.
That's the thing I was thinking of. Not the restraining.
I-
Restraining doesn't deserve a nat 20. The
think-
parallels
think-
for the monster does.
I think Rocky deserves a nat 20.
Oh, Rocky!
Rocky.
He nat 20'd it!
He did.
Yay, Rocky!
I was like, sure enough, this thing ain't gonna kill this thing. But yeah,
That
what,
would have been funny, though.
I think we got. I'm not sure. Did anybody have a vote in Twitch chat for tonight for a nat 20 to give to one of our players for next week? It looks like we got a vote from Mulfin from Chris Hansen. Is that a vote or is that just talking about
Well,
a?
that's him telling him to make Ted a skeleton. encouraging him.
Encouraging.
No.
Oh,
Which is exactly why Diana was like, don't even think about it.
Chris
Hansen says Rocky.
Rocky. Chris Hansen saying Rocky. Oh boy.
Rock the Rock Roxon.
How long? Rock the Rock
And Rocky.
Roxon. I love it. I love it. How long does
But he
that?
didn't get
How long does that spell last?
until they die.
Really? So they just get to
Yep.
chill?
List.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
So hey, Rocky gets the nat 20 next week.
Okay.
Oh, in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks. I keep forgetting.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Write that down. Make sure we
I got
remember.
it.
Because I don't have.
Rocky, nat 20.
Rocky doesn't have his own webcam, so I can't put a nat 20 next to him. Awesome. Rocky is a crit machine.
He is.
Wasn't there a boxer guy named Rocky?
Yeah, he climbs up.
Yes.
He runs up the steps in Philadelphia and just
Is it a
like,
montage?
yeah, yo, Adrian. It's-
Oh, no. Sylvester Stallone movie.
Yes.
Okay. So
That's
for
right.
everyone, you get 1,833 gold pieces and 233 platinum pieces.
Oh my god, we're rich.
Hey,
What we
Lachlan
individually
is gonna-
get?
yeah.
Huh? You get 1,833 gold and 233 platinum.
That's a good idea, Chris Hansen. I'll put a Rocky Balboa picture up on the overlay and put a nat 20 over his head. That's so good.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you guys, despite the challenges that you faced thus far, you guys are clean in house when it comes to small fortunes.
Yeah, we're good.
Lachlan is probably super excited that you guys decided to go on this story arc.
I just went from having 15 gold to having 1,833 gold.
How did you have 15?
I donated a lot.
She donated to charity.
Molten is sitting at over 3,000 gold and over 500 platinum right now.
I've got like 5,000 gold.
I'm at like I don't even want to say.
Yeah, because you've got your hidden stash.
We're gonna have to have like 4 shopping episodes just so you guys can spend all your money.
One person each.
Yeah. Just one-on-ones. Very cool. Well, thank you
And buy
guys.
all components.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight.
Yeah,
If you haven't followed us yet here at Proficiency Bonus, please do, and make sure you hit that notification check mark, so that way you know exactly when we go live. We have a show basically every night during the week with an amazing DM and some amazing players. So make sure you guys check us out. We also have a Patreon if you would like to support us that way. There's links to it, I believe, in the Twitch chat. So just make sure you do that. Also, check out all these. All the back episodes are on YouTube. So if you ever want to go back and
hit
check
that
them
subscribe
out,
button down below.
yeah, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you're following along. We got tons of stuff going on here at the channel. I also wanted to throw this out there to our viewers tonight. And for the first time, we're going to go ahead and announce it. A new stream is going to be coming on Tuesdays called Tabletop Legends. which is going to feature Matt as our Dungeon Master. Not Matthew, but Matt, who played Tuala in our Monday night campaigns for a while. He's going to take over the helm for Tabletop Legends on Tuesday evenings, which is going to be a live in front of a table, and not these little webcams and over Roll20, but he's going to have his group, his cast is going to be right there at the table. So it's going to be a little different, something a little bit different for Proficiency Bonus, which I think is good. So he's going to be running a homebrew adventure, and we're going to be advertising a lot of that coming up here soon. As we continue on. I believe the launch date is the first Tuesday in April is the goal to get that ready to go. So we're really excited about that. Once we get more details, we'll get those out to you. Yeah, we're really excited about that. Matt is an amazing role player and amazing storyteller.
He's an amazing GM, and I've played with some of his chosen specimens, and they are all so awesome. Awesome.
I'm trying to dabble into what Christy's doing a little bit, and I'm thinking about maybe doing a bit of a podcast for another Proficiency Bonus podcast, and I'm thinking about interviewing Matt and talking to him a little bit about his homebrew world, so that give that a way to advertise, and also to give you guys, the viewers, an idea of what exactly to expect from Tabletop Legends. So be on the lookout for that. I'm still trying to figure that stuff out, which, Christy, I'll probably be contacting you.
Yeah, because I've already been talking about it too as well for going forward.
Because I kind of know how to record the stuff. I just don't know how to get it out there on iTunes and the internet. So that's the part that I need help with. So awesome. Sure. You guys are amazing. Thank you guys so much once again. And if you ever find yourself deep in the depths of a old sunken shipwreck, and a creature that your dungeon master just created today decides to emerge from the depths, make sure you add your proficiency bonus, folks. Well, I'll correct that. I knew what it was. I just didn't know how powerful it was going to be until today.
The bite was terrible. Yeah.
The bite was terrible. Yeah. But you know what that was, folks at home? This was a little bit of retribution for the Remahaz thing.
You're still bitter.
I'm still bitter. I basically took the, just so you know, a little bit of behind the curtain for you guys. I took an aboleth and I took a Remahaz and I merged them a little bit.
Oh, wow.
And then I tweaked it just a little bit.
Naughty.
To come up with this one.
Yeah.
Sneaky.
Sneaky. Yeah, you almost killed it in one touch.
Yeah, you one shot it.
Yeah, remember when you couldn't breathe, or you couldn't breathe air for that time? That was the aboleth.
Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah, I'm kind of bitter about that too, to be honest. I get attached to my bad guys like you guys get attached to my NPCs.
Is that the one I nuked?
Yeah, you nuked it.
Yeah, you chucked.
Yeah, okay.
You chucked the entire necklace of fireballs out. Yes. I think at that time it only had like 13 hit points left when you did that. You could have threw one and been okay, but you just nuked that sucker.
I was done. Calista was so mad.
Well, guys, we will be back in 2 weeks. You guys have a good night. Thanks for hanging out with us. And we will see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Good night.
Bye. Bye.